Okay, I think we're ready to go. What about you guys? How's it going, everybody? Hope your week was good. This is going to be a fun show, don't you think? It's nice to see that everybody's starting to file in. I hope you're well. It's just nice to be part of this again. I've been receiving a lot of feedback over the weekend about the Sandwich Show, and I really thank all of you for your support. And that's really, really nice of you to say. We're very happy to be a part of this. And we've got some great guests today. We really do. I mean, Justin and Evelyn. I mean, that's as exciting a guest as you could ever ask for on this program. So life is good. And we had them on at some point in the summer last year. I cannot remember the exact month, but it was really good. And we got some surprises for you. If we reach a hype train, we'll have some surprises. If we get to certain numbers, we'll have surprises. We'll see. You'll see. If there's a raid of a significant amount, there'll be surprises. Not counting the one from Justin and Evelyn themselves, but we should be ready to go. And I'm keeping them on monitor so that I know when they're about to raid in. So we're just about ready to go. I'm just waiting for some folks to come on into the chat room, and then we'll start up the stream. But oh, she might be contacting me now. Actually, let me go see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But the stream is ready. We're ready. We are ready over here. We are ready to go. We're ready to go. We are ready to go. I've got some bonus stuff for you if we need to wait a little bit. But yeah. Just letting them know that I'm starting the stream. Hello, everybody. Are you ready for some Justin and Evelyn? Are you ready for some chaos, cats, and musical whiplash, and conversation, and sandwiches, and all the things? I think we're going to be in for some fun today. We're looking forward. And it's the start of our super week here on the Sandwich Show. Really exciting. Okay, just doing some final comments. Okay, all right. I like to hang out and just see if anybody else can pop into the chat. But nice to see you all here. Hope you're all hanging. Oh, it's so nice to have 3 screens. Yeah, by the way, I added a 3rd screen last week to my studio setup. Man, it is such a get. It is such a get. But we're always gonna have a special place in our heart here on the Sandwich Show. For oh my goodness, the people at Chev already know they're on their way. They are on their way. They might be really on their way. Let's go ahead and start the stream now. Let's play the music and everything. We'll get going. Shall we? Shall we do that? I think we shall. Let's go do it. Let's go do this. I'm looking forward. All right. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2. Hold on. Hold on to something tight. We're ready to do this. 1, 2. Oh, goodness. I got to get on the thing myself. Whoops. Okay, not yet. Oh my God! I almost blew that whole thing. I'm supposed to be on the collab room myself. I have to remember that. Okay, hold on. This is, boy, that almost went entirely to crap. What that would have been rough. So let me join my own room before I get into this. So let's do that now. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I think all the things into here. Okay, and then into here. Okay, so then I gotta jump on a thing, and then we'll start this. James Cassie's in the house. How you doing? What a pro! I know. Pro streamer right here. How you doing, my friend? Let me shout you out too. Hold on a second. Jacques Hasse joining us here on the Sandwich Show chat. Nice to see you, my friend. He's also a streamer as well. And both of us have a mutual friend in Danielle Allard. So that's really nice to see you again, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Oh, you're gonna love our guests tonight. Justin and Evelyn are dynamite. They're really fun, and it should be really good. Oh yeah. Well, you bet. Yeah. So I'm doing well. Super excited. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome very much. I'm glad to do that for you. All right, let's start. Let's do this. Let's do this. Here we go. Let's see if I got everything lined up. I think I do. Let's just slide something over here. All right, let's do it. Let's do this right now. We do it now. We do it live. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is The Sandwich Show. My name is Davey. I, as you know, eat sandwiches, and I present them on Instagram. I also host The Sandwich Show here on Twitch. And what we do on the show is we interview other content creators throughout the platform and on other platforms. And one of our good friends to start, when we started The Sandwich Show, were Justin and Evelyn. And they're a duo of piano. They're a two piano dueling. They're a piano dueling duo. Try to say that 3 times fast. Out of Seattle. They're not in Seattle at the moment, but they usually they're usually there. That's usually their home base. But they're just out. I think they're puppy sitting in Oregon at the moment. But they still can do shows even when they're out on the road. It's really wild. So good times. But it's so good to see you all here. This should be a really fun show. And let's see how everybody's doing over there. The Roxy Gun Project is in the chat at Justin and Evelyn. That's awesome. I love those guys. Good stuff. But and over here, CT, welcome in. Hope your streams are going well. It's so nice to see all of you here. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like they're down to like 1 song. So we'll keep that going. So what I have for you all to who are in the chat early with us tonight, I have special Justin and Evelyn trivia. And yeah, Miss Jacques Casse, thank you very much for the shout out. Yeah, I left the mod sword in case you were to come back, and you are back. And so I'm glad that you were able to do that. Thank you so much. But these folks are really fun. I think most of the people in the chat are familiar with Justin and Evelyn, and I think that's a really cool thing. So good times. And CT shouting out himself. Right on. But I did go to your channel. I thought that was really cool. It was really cool that you're belting out the hits over there, CT. Good stuff. And don't worry about it, James. It's all good. Christine's in the chat. Hello. Multi-tabbing, waiting for J and E to finish up. Yep, right on. Me too. We're kind of keeping an eyeball on it, but they're on like a song or two. So here's what I got for you all. Well, folks who are in the chat early, I present to you a special Justin and Evelyn trivia for all of you. So let's see how many of these you can get right. I'm going to pop it up right now, and this should be really fun. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Let's do it. I did not see what game you recently played, but we'll get to that later. So time for some trivia. You ready? So we'll start. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and answer. See how many of these you can get right. I think you can get them all, though, to be honest with you. So let's give it a go. All right, here we go. So the chat, there's the score of the chat right there. Let's see how many of these you can get, and then we'll get rolling right over here. Here we go. Okay, so you ready? You ready to do this? Okay, let's start. All right, let's see if I can scroll it up. Okay, here we go. Who's ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. All right, let's start with this. Okay, so here's the first question for anybody in the chat who's joined us early. Where are Justin and Evelyn based? Where are they based? What city? What U.S. city? I'll give you the city. Christine gets it right. They are in Seattle, Washington. That's correct. All right, trivia question number 2. What are 3 of Evelyn's favorite music genres on stream? Her favorite genres. Can you name them all? No, I mean, pop's a good one, but that's not the one I had in mind. But there are 3. There are three big ones. Let's see if you all can get it. No. Christine, I bet you'll get at least one of them. Don't worry about it, CT. It's all good. What are 3 of Evelyn's favorite music genres on stream? We've seen Disney is 1. Yes, you got 1. Well done. Can you get the other two? Country? That's a good guess, but no. We'll give you an opportunity to get the other two, though. So that won't be constituted as a wrong answer. Let's see if you can get the other two. I guess that is one of them, though, but it's just not the one I had in mind. Oldies. I mean, technically right, yeah. Let me just give it to you folks. We're about to get the rating in a moment now. So the answers are Broadway and jazz. Broadway and jazz. Broadway and jazz. All right. So let's go ahead and we're gonna come out of this for a little bit, and we can go back to trivia as we try to suss out the connections and everything. But thank you very much for playing, everybody. Appreciate you very much for your participation. That was really good. So let's go back, and I'll just tell you what we're up to here on the Sandwich Show. Look at that. They even got like a closing screen and everything. So this is really exciting. So the raid is coming in any moment now. Thanks, CT. I appreciate you very much. I lose my sword. Shane, I can hook you up with a sword. This is exciting. But anyway, they're almost here. And then I think it's just going to be a matter of like a few little, like a few moments where we try to work out how to get the OBS Ninja connection going. And then hopefully we get the audio levels right, and then we'll see. So we'll keep going with that as we continue through that. Now, how do I clear the... What was the thing I do to clear this? I don't remember. Nope. I don't remember how to reset this thing. Okay, whatever. I'll just redo it. I'm going to have to. Okay, cool. I think we're good to go. Hey, Peter's in the chat. The Mod Love Doctor PTV1. Welcome in. How you doing? Thank you for the shout out, CT. Fab Francine in the Justin and Evelyn chat says, I have a sandwich. So do I, Fab Francine. I'll let you know when you get in here. But that's really cool. So, let's see if they're everything okay in their end. Oh, are they still going? Okay, never mind. But, so anyway, folks, this... Oops, wrong button. PTB says, Davey, how you been, pal? I've been good. I mean, doing a lot of organizing for the week ahead, and I'll explain a little bit of that. Yeah, it was time for Christmas to end. I was wondering about that too, actually. And so I've been really doing a lot of work setting up the schedule for this week of shows, and this is what I'm referring to. This week is Super Week on the Sandwich Show and also on my podcast, but we have an amazing run of shows coming up here on the Sandwich Show, and this is the first of them. Justin and Evelyn will be joining us at any moment now, and it's looking really exciting. I cannot wait for them to come on in. It should be really, really fun. And then you have, and then tomorrow, Monday, we have the Together Wherever Big reveal. We'll announce the lineup for this month's Stream Fest with Irene Pena. And on Tuesday, we have a big game tier list show, which means we're going to rank all our favorite snacks from the Super Bowl with Brennigan Frothing Slosh. That'll be really fun. And Thursday, we've got the karaoke show. That's all coming up. It's all part of a really, really fun week of shows. Your name is not on the poster. Well, there isn't enough room to put everybody's name on there, CT. So I could only do like the ones who had, I could only do some of the names. So nothing personal on that one, CT. It was in the Instagram ad though. I did have room for it in the Instagram ad. So just for what it's worth, it was in the Instagram ad, and I'll put it in there again as we get closer to the day. But yeah, this is really awesome. And here they come. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? This will be really fun. And then, like I said, as we get going and as we get them ready to go, ready to chat, we will then, if we need a little extra time, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and do some extra trivia with Justin and Evelyn based trivia with them. That should be really fun. So, thank you for the follow, Rothgar Aurora. I know you all the time from the Justin and Evelyn chat. Super good. Let me just give you a quick synopsis of who these folks are. So if you ever need to figure out who a guest is, pump it up. All right, let's do it. Pump it up. Maybe I should have waited till they got here, but it was worth it. Pump it up. Thank you for the redeem, CT. And here come more folks into the... This is exciting. It's always funny, like, when I watch a channel and I already know they're coming, and there I am, and they're coming, and I see them, and Roxy Gun Project is in the chat too. Hello, I love you guys. Well, and Justin and Evelyn, they're all here. They're all here. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the Sandwich Show, everyone. A party of 60. My goodness, you all brought it today. Thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. I predict the riot. I predict the riot. Hey everybody, welcome into the show. Justin and Evelyn should be joining us any moment now. We're going to go ahead and set up our video connection. But let's meet all of you first here in the chat. So nice to meet you all here. My name is Davey. I am the host of The Sandwich Show. It's a show where we feature interviews with content creators. And we do a whole lot of other fun things right here on the program. And Shane, I noticed that you might not have a mod sword. Let me fix that in case you ever wanted to come by and help us out with that. Completely optional, but I would like to give that to you. But Roxy Gun, I love you all too. It's so nice to see you in the chat with us alongside all of our good friends here from the Jev world. It says, doing well, relaxing before tonight's gig. Oh, you got a gig tonight, like a IRL gig. That's awesome. Thank you for the follows, Tammy Do and Photo Geek Don and Ali Dominguez official, and thank you for the resub, Shane. That's so cool. Thank you so much for being a part of this with us, everybody. Let's go see if we can get... Oh, they're already in. Okay, good. Let me go ahead and... I see Evelyn's smiling face here. Let me copy this. Let me get us all situated over here. So what we do is we go to here, and then I paste a thing, and then we'll see them magically appear right here on this screen. Check this out, everybody. And then the magic begins. Here we go. Let's see if it worked. Ah, we see them. Hello. I don't hear you yet, though, but I do see you. Let me see if I can fix something on my end. I think it's a me problem. Let me see. I do this all the time. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Yeah, it's me again. Let me fix. I fix. Okay. Oh, now I hear myself.
Davey, can I ask you a question when you can hear us?
I can, but I also hear me, which is weird.
Oh. Oh no.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Justin, you turned off my piano. Now I can't make silly song references.
Oh no.
Okay.
I wonder why I hear myself though. It's funny. But welcome in, everybody. How you doing? Oh, you putting it in the chat?
I need to make sure I see the... Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes. The problem is everyone can also hear me double. So I think I'm coming in somewhere else on your system.
On my system?
Yeah. Maybe. Because sometimes what happens is if you leave a tab up with my stream, it could be doubling somewhere.
I removed this. I don't have him playing here. See?
Hopes we don't hear Davey eat twice. I went back. How you doing? Double Davey, I think it's a Jev side thing. Yeah, I agree.
Oh no, it's a Jev side thing. Oh, we're breaking Davey's stream already.
Well, I can try one thing. Hold on. Let me see this works. Let's try this. Okay. How's that? Nope. No, now that's even worse. So I'll switch that back where it was. Okay. That's interesting. If you in OBS, what you can do is you can turn off your desktop audio if you're coming in through there. Like there's a desktop audio thing you can mute, and then that would probably do it.
Us?
Yeah.
How do we hear you? How do we hear you? Should we hear you through the stream or through the video?
It should only be through the video thing. The stream should be muted. Yeah.
Okay, the stream is muted.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good for us. When you thought it was worse, it was great. What the? We can just pretend you have a stutter? Okay, we can go with that. I don't know why I hear myself, though. That's hilarious. Let me try this. Hold on. One sec. Oh, I think that I think they
Sounds good.
they found a thing.
Did we do something? Did it work?
No.
Okay, JK. Just kidding.
Try the thing
It's
again.
also possible. Are we blurry or pixelated?
I don't think so. Like if we go into here, like check this out. Here you are.
Oh, hi. Oh.
Y'all seem fine. Yeah. Hello.
Okay. It's strangely pixelated. Okay, I see it. It's now not. It's not. It's good. It sounds. It's perfect. So I'm not coming in doubled. Only Davey's coming in doubled.
Yeah, only me. Interesting. I will just talk less.
No. Well, we can only
I will talk
hear
in
you
sign
once.
language.
Should I take Well, I can. I mean, here. Let me do this.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute your audio, and I'm gonna stop talking. You mute. I'm gonna mute completely, and let me know if you guys still.
Okay. I don't hear myself, but I still hear Evelyn's keyboard. That's interesting. So you hear that? That's interesting. But Evelyn, I still hear you. I think I still hear you. If you could say something. Oh, I see what's going on. She can't hear me now.
Oh, I can't hear. I muted the computer entirely.
Oh,
Just
can you
turn on the
use
computer.
headphones?
So I'm just listening. I'm just watching myself smile at you.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so when you mute that, you don't hear me, but then you also don't hear. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, that's weird. That's strange. That's. I mean, we could just roll with it. You want to just do that? Like, we could just do that and see what happens, or.
Unmute that.
Unmute.
Yeah. And I hear myself again. That's okay.
Alright, so we should just use headphones. That's
Okay, we'll just use headphones.
Oh, is that what's happening? Like I'm coming out through the speakers, and you're in the microphone's picking it up.
Maybe.
Ah.
Pro streamers.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Do people always use headphones?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
But does everyone? Do your guests always use headphones?
I don't know. Some do, some don't. But I never really thought about it. It's tough for me to answer that because some people have in-ears, so that I can never really know who's having them and who doesn't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't put this in. Oh no, wrong ear hole. Here we go. Okay, cool. We'll get this working.
That is better. Okay. I don't hear myself anymore. Okay, cool. Okay.
I can't geometry this. How does this go in my head? No, this is definitely wrong.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Nice to meet you both. Thank you for bearing with us, everybody, while we suss out the tech stuff. That wasn't too bad, though. I mean, I think it was just a matter of just getting everybody on headphones. Remember when we had Croissant on? The same situation. They just need to get headphones. So.
Well, now I know.
It's all good.
Now we know.
Yeah.
And we're gonna share headphones.
And look at this! You're all sharing headphones. How cute! This is so nice. But
This is not the best. So.
Yeah. But all good.
Okay.
So, folks,
Is this the right one?
let's say
No,
hello
that's
to
the wrong
Justin and
one.
Evelyn
That's the
officially.
wrong headphone. Could you put it in my ear? I don't understand. It's all.
All right, we are so sorry for the
Help!
No.
crazy
Help!
delay.
The
Oh, look at all these
Mandibles
cool
are
people in the
here!
chat. The Mandivilles are in the chat too. We just raided into the Mandivilles last week. So good to see you. Serena and Nick, nice to see how y'all doing. You're you all are
Guys,
fun.
I
You're
don't
so
wanna
much
say
fun.
it.
And kudos to you as
Davey,
well.
this is a mature audience's show, chat channel, right?
100%.
Because he can't find my hole.
You can't find the hole.
Figure it out. He's trying to put it in my ear.
That's not where it goes.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Davey, like we're
What?
kicking you off the
This
sandwich
is not.
channel.
You put this in before.
Okay, done. All right, fine, good. We're all good now.
All right.
They're like, I thought they were so wholesome. We're very wholesome. We're so wholesome.
Yes.
Look at us holding hands. So wholesomely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to eventual behind the scenes Justin and Evelyn. That'll be really fun. Like I think the more off color Justin and Evelyn. And Aaron says, "Isn't Justin's mom like right there?" I think that's true. Right? Isn't your mom in the mommy in the room with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 feet away.
She makes jokes like that all the time, though.
So how are y'all doing? I mean, we've talked about at the beginning of the show before y'all rated in how incredible the last couple weeks have been for you, and it's really been great. I mean, front page, and then the 1 year stream, and then your vacation. I mean, it's tough to summarize that in like one sentence, but what has it been like to be going through all these things? And yes, I love it. And Luis, good to see you too. Welcome into the chat. Now, and thank you for shouting out Luis as well. But I mean, could you have ever imagined, I think is my question, all the heights you've reached as streamers about a year ago at this time, or maybe 14 months ago before you started streaming it? It's I mean, describe the journey.
We just started and let's do this. Well, let's just do this thing while we're, stuck at home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, and also we have to be really convinced to play online, like very convinced to actually bring ourselves onto the internet, because we've done in real life gigs for forever. I mean, that's what we do. But stop.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, the internet is a different and strange place, and
so it took a lot to.
I see.
We started on Facebook a little bit, and initially, which is a terrible idea, but we were just really wary of it, even though we were totally capable, but we kept making excuses as to why we couldn't stream.
I see.
And so finally, like, a friend of ours who's a very, very good dueling pianist came to one of our Facebook shows, which were on a private page that no one had access to. We were only inviting friends. And she came to one of our shows, and she's like, you guys are, what are you thinking? Of course you should be on the internet. What are you doing? Like, she's like, and she's...
But we were scared.
I gotcha.
So even though we've been doing this for so many years, but something about being online doing it, and like, the internet is forever. Forever, the internet.
There's no doubt. No, that's a tangible concern though. Like, if you make a mistake or you do something embarrassing, like, they will never let you, and it's happened just on your channel.
Yeah.
So no, we will never let you forget those kind of moments, but I'm glad you were able to overcome that and then make a great show out of it. I mean, that's super cool. But,
this is a great question. Shane asked, and if I'm looking over there because we have the chat kind of going from a separate area so we can watch.
Yep.
Or kind of keep up with chat.
No more coconut bras.
Are you real? Is that a mandate? Is that official?
No.
Can that be? Yeah, I feel like it's.
I'm sure
I think we can negotiate that.
It'll definitely happen.
So yeah, the question was, what is the timeline? Did you move to Seattle before you made this decision?
To the decision to stream?
So Justin was already living in Seattle before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and he came down to Portland, or the Portland area, to live here with his folks for a while. And it was actually really funny. So he was in Seattle. He came down to Portland for like a gig. And then 3 days later, it was lockdown. It was like, no one can leave their house.
Yeah.
You cannot leave your house.
So then I
at
stayed
all.
at my parents' house for like
4 or 5
7 months.
No,
Oof.
But yeah.
Well,
because nobody knew. It was early days, right? And so then then in the summer, we started talking about maybe streaming, doing things online. And then he came to Seattle.
And then I kind of like bounced back and forth between Seattle and
right.
and down here for a little while, and then eventually started staying up there more consistently than anywhere else.
And then we did Twitch.
Yeah. And in part of that process, I know that up until like a few weeks ago, like you mentioned how you were a couple, then you weren't a couple, now you were not a couple, and then you made it official basically a couple weeks ago. And I think it's a very healthy decision, to be honest. And I think I guess my question is really, what were the concerns going into that, and do you feel like it's? I mean, I don't think you need to worry about the decision. I think it was a great decision. I think it was a great call, but I understand, because you were mentioning like why you kind of kept it under wraps for a while, but what went into that? What went into what went into some of those into that decision? Because it's interesting. We had your back the whole time. I guess that's my point. And so
It's a great question. It's a great question. I think for one thing, like.
Yeah, LG music. Everybody always thought we were a couple, long before Aaron said stop being gross. I mean, part of it is, you know.
Why are we gross?
It being because we looked at each other.
Oh.
I mean, it was. I think the biggest thing was knowing that this was a viable relationship. Is that a way to say it?
That's what I'm looking for.
It's a
Viable.
weird viable.
It's actually that's what I've been aiming for this whole time.
Well,
like, is
the
this,
minute
am I
something's
viable?
public, then there's
It's true.
there's
though, he's right.
expectations, there's external pressures, and like, well, don't get us wrong, like all of you here are amazing humans, but like naturally people start, you know, have additional questions, or you know, will start
It
to
just
kind
puts
of
pressure.
insert
like,
themselves
it's extra
into
pressure on the relationship.
right. And so until we kind of knew
Because
what it was and what we were doing,
we were not a couple when we started. That is true.
Yeah.
Like we started as streaming as friends and were friends for 3 years. Like Justin has been one of my closest friends for 3 years. So so it was just funny to be like, well, we've told people we're friends for this whole time, and now we're not friends anymore. But like when do you meet somebody's parents? When do you meet somebody's friend group? Like those are questions you have to ask each other, and this time it's like, when do we tell the internet we're dating? Like that's a strange thing to tell. Versus if you come into it and you're like already dating, that's a different story because you like start the stream and that's part of your stream lore. But if you don't start that way, now it's like, ooh, is it time to meet the internet? Are you ready to meet the internet?
I love the comments in the chat, and this is great. Aaron says, "You know I tease when I mean FFS. I cried out of happiness when you announced it officially." We all did. Yeah, we love it. We love it. And,
I did too.
Let's see, Caffeine and Dark N8V. Welcome in, Dark N8V. You were always a couple. It was just a matter of you agreeing to admit it. It's interesting.
Well, I love caffeine is my drugs comment. Justin says, the internet already thinks we're a couple. So what do you say?
Well, no, we just...
Oh, that's great. It's kind of like, yeah, exactly. I love that, Calf. But anyway, yeah, we all, I think the end of the day, we're all really happy for you. And I think it's cool that it kind of opens up other things too. Like, for example, you mentioned the trip and which had to have been amazing. Like that, I mean, Hawaii does it ever suck? Like, you ever gone to Hawaii? Man, that sucked. Like that. No.
I mean, you can make anything, you know, you can find negatives anywhere if you want, but even when it's raining and crappy there, it's still amazing. And just, I've always said that there's just something in the air. There's something just about the feeling there that is really special. But
yeah, it's just magic is everywhere. And the culture of the island is all about this aloha culture, right? So like, you know, we drove through a Starbucks drive-through, right? And the lady was just so delightful to us. Like, she's just like, oh, like, it's gonna rain today in Hilo, like, blah, blah, blah. And it was just a very sweet, immediate kindness. Or like, we went to see the lava. So Volcano National Park, hugely recommend. I'm also a huge national park geek. But you go to Kilauea, and there is lava. Well, it does, not always, but right now, there is lava erupting out of the ground. Bubbling lava erupting out of the ground.
it was pretty amazing.
So already that's amazing, right? That's already bucket list. I've never seen it before.
Yep.
It is a cauldron. You can see it spitting out.
Literally a cauldron.
It's crazy. But then, so we had a pair of binoculars. And so we started giving it out to like little, we had like this, they weren't like super fancy, but you know, they're better than your eyeballs. And so we were like, there were like a bunch of kids in the nearby, and we're like, hey, do you want to see it closer? So we kind of passed the binoculars around. And we were kind of, okay, it's time to go. We should, it's a long drive down in the dark. We should get back to the condo, to the timeshare thingy. And then we see that there's this other guy who set up a telescope, an actual telescope. And he's with a tour group, right? So I'm like, well, I'm not going to bother him. But then he says, well, if everyone from my tour group is finished, if anyone who's not with my tour wants to look at the lava through a telescope, you're welcome to come up. I'm like, do I? How magical is that? Like, that was not, he didn't have to do that. But it's like the little magical things that happen because of the aloha spirit and like how, I don't know why it is that way. Maybe it's like that everywhere. It's just more obvious.
And we just happened to like hit the jackpot on on lucky circumstances the entire trip.
Oh, that's great.
From the weather to random snorkeling coolness or just nice people.
But so, Davey, tell us how do we stop and make sure we're reading and acknowledging the chat enough? Because otherwise you got to stop me.
That's always a good question, because I have asked myself that question. And I think this is a good spot to do it. Let's see what everyone says. Going back to the announcement, let's say, Shane says, my take on it. Friends that became more are so amazing. And then LG says, will they or won't they? Yeah, there was definitely a Ross and Rachel component to it, but definitely no. But the good thing is that this is a more linear path rather than the breakups every so often.
Yeah.
We were on a break. I'm like, yeah.
We were talking about maybe we'll break up every 3 weeks or something to keep the stream interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
Aaron
what
with
if
a great.
People stop caring once we're not. They're like, oh, they are together now. All right. Well, I don't know.
That would definitely track if it was a TV show, right? Like if it was like a regular TV show. Aaron says, Evelyn, be honest. When it was made official, did Justin smolder at you?
I'm the one that brought this. I'm the one that asked Justin. I was like, what? How did that start? It started with me saying something about smoldering, and Justin's like, I don't know how to smolder, and then he looks at the camera and just does it, and that was the best smolder I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh.
So I feel kind of responsible for creating the smolder within, because
that was definitely your doing.
Justin said he didn't know how, and so
I love it.
And now, but I mean that's just the smoldering. It's just so funny because there were many months that we have been streaming, and actually a couple, but debating whether to say anything, and Justin smolder is delightful, and of course it's
yeah,
you legit died. It's funny.
Yeah, Aaron's right. Have you legit died?
The clip is funny. And LG Music, I agree. I think Chandler and Monica is much better, except I'm OCD like Monica is, but I've always compared myself to Chandler because of his sarcastic nature, which is also very me. So
he's dating himself, and then I'm
dating myself, and you're also there somehow.
And I'm just there.
No, but because Aaron was saying that Ross and Rachel was very toxic and a terrible relationship. When you really boil
it's
it
a
down.
good point.
Let's not use that as a comparison.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, that's a good point, because it kept going back and forth and everything. So that's not a great analogy. So good point, Aaron. What about Joey and Phoebe? Were they a couple? I'm not as up on the show as you guys, but
no, they were never.
No, okay.
Joey and Phoebe ended up with what's the actor's name?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Wow.
Remember?
Ant-Man. How about that? Did not.
She's saying change her name to Princess Consuelo Banana Hammock, and he goes, fine. Then I'm changing mine to Crap Bag. First name Crap, last name Bag.
Totally don't remember that. That's funny.
Well, okay, Mr. Bag. Oh, it's a great episode.
Aaron says Joey and Phoebe should have been. So that was the thing.
Just Crap Bag.
Just Crap Bag. Right on. Jade, welcome in. It's been a minute. How you been? Hi, Jade, welcome. Say hi to Justin and Evelyn. I think you know them. They're on the right side of the screen, and yours truly on the left. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, so we'll go back to the questions in a minute, but let's get to know everybody in the chat. It's time for our starting lineup redeem. So if you would like to enter the lineup, everyone, ! Lineup in the chat. We'll announce your name, start basketball style, and we will have a lot of fun with this one today. And let's do it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Mod Love Peter, Dr. Peter, PTB1. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Peter!
Good to see you.
Take care, Peter. Nice to see you again. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Let's go.
They make noises.
And the music begins.
Oh. I love this.
Mar thy pen, you're about to find out. What is the lineup thing? Oh, I love it. And now, the starting lineup for your Davy's Eating a Sandwich Showtime! Leading off, Love is in His Name, or it was at one point. our good mod friend CT Chris Thompson, CT Music. And next up, our first mod of the Sandwich Show, and a great friend of Justin and Evelyn from Florida by way of New York, Aaron Rain 8686. And from New Mexico, he's got the moves like Jagger, and he loves the tacos. The LG Music. And coming your way from the Mid-Atlantic region, he loves coffee just like you and me. Caffeine is my drug. And from sunny San Diego, who recently redeemed the Davey Home movie stream. Thanks very much for that. Our good friend, the Troller-in-Chief, Rob. And from the Pacific Northwest, the land of chaos, cats, and musical whiplash, our dueling piano friends. They recently announced their couple ship, but most of us knew already. I'm just kidding. Justin and Evelyn! And next in our lineup, a good friend of ABC Music, and also a love of the Otters, BC Loves Otters! And lastly but not leastly, from Northern California, the leader of the Jade Empire, a master artist and emote designer, round up for Jade! Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries. Oh, hey, let me go. Look at through one more. And just joining the lineup, new to the Sandwich Show, Chad Bragger, 77. And finally, I'll be joining our good friend tomorrow on Sports on the Hill podcast. Say hello to Robbie G, Sports OTHP. Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, your Davey's eating a sandwich. Sandwich Show time! Pump it up, yes! Thank you, everybody. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Robbie, my favorite segment. Look at mine too. Well, almost just flips all the tables. That's great. Oh my gosh. Okay. Woo. Thanks everybody. My goodness.
What a lineup.
Oh, that was a great lineup today. And thank you for the resub, Justin and Evelyn. One more resub, 8 months. Holy cow. That was really nice of you to do that. Thank you so much, everybody. So that's what our starting lineup is. Martha Penfriend says, interesting. Most definitely is. But thanks everybody for that. Yeah, and that's what we do. It's really fun. Let's see. Does anybody have a bonus, something they want to ask Justin and Evelyn before we go to Sandwich of the Week? I'll take your question here in the chat. Little pre-random question.
Q&A, right?
Yeah, but we're gonna definitely do them like more on the other side. But back to lurking with the family, but love this segment. Well, I'm gonna have a good one, Robbie. Give a shout out to our friend Robbie. Enjoy your lurk. Yeah, I guess I'll ask one more. So I guess what I was wondering, going back to like the formation of your stream and everything. When was that moment where you thought that you would have arrived, that you're connecting, that you're gonna be a thing, this is gonna be a thing? Like, was there a specific moment in your streaming history where you kind of thought, like, this is happening, this is a real this could be something?
I don't know that we've arrived. Like, I don't know. I'm like, have we arrived?
I guess when like people started watching, like there was people watching at first, and then at some point there was like consistently people watching.
Okay.
So honestly, like probably when we got all the mods, like
the mods were very
on board.
Yeah.
And then had kind of like our core like 30 or so that seemed to be there all the time. When that started happening, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of when it started feeling like, oh, this is like
Something's happening.
it's going to be, continue to be a thing.
I love that. Aaron's
I
comment
also,
right there. You made the front page. I think
page.
you
I
did
think you were
right.
right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Very good point.
It's just, as a musician, it's like, what does that mean? I guess that what's exciting is like, I'm just so grateful for a platform where if we press go live and then somebody on the other side somewhere in the world has an emotion that they wanted to emote, or a feeling, or that's the same thing, or like an experience or a bit of laughter or joy or something or connection, and they vibed with us, that's when we arrived. Like the moment for me, it's like as soon as somebody says, wow, when somebody comes into the stream for the very first time and says, whoa, I love it here, or wow, I can't wait to see more of this, I'm like, that's the moment, because you're connecting and vibing with somebody from who knows where, like from all over the world, and I'm just endlessly grateful for every single person that comes in and says something like that, and those who don't, that's no problem. Like we're not supposed to all like the same things. That is not it's not how it's supposed to work. So your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So there's we love finding more of the tribe every day. It's just.
Well, I gotta say, I think to a person, like I think way more people do than don't. Like everyone I talk to loves your channel, so I've never. Could you imagine, like any of you, of those of you in the chat, could you even imagine like running into some man? I hate those Justin and Evelyn people. They're annoying. I hate them. I've never heard that. I never heard that once.
If you don't like joy and harmonies, get out. Get out.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Aaron says you have so many cult members now. That's great. Love it so much.
And it was really delightful. Anytime if I remember Aaron and Shane early on when they were like, we would love to help mod for you. And I'm like, you would? Is that really? But why? But thank you. But we would love that. And so, moments like that, it's like, to me, it's like a collection, of, like a series of moments. And the other thing is Twitch is not, the internet in general and music in general, it's not a guarantee. It's not like, we have no idea. When we go live, we don't know what's going to happen. 0 people could show up. Yeah. Or 12,000.
12,000,
we don't
my
know.
Friends.
So it's not like, it's never a given. You're always wanting to just give more and find a way to make the community feel good. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. I mean, once you see a community and you see people who love you every day, and I've been seeing the comments in the chat, these are great. And Jade says, I hope Justin and Evelyn know that every time they turn on the camera, there are hundreds of people all over the world who suddenly smile. And I'm in that group. I'm in that group, And I loved when Carlo made the point. You were on with Carlo. Shout out to Carlo, the stream scribe, on his giant show. But remember when he said that you're like on his like on his notification list, like when his phone like goes. That's amazing, right?
That's a compliment.
Yeah, that's
big time.
Big compliment.
And he follows certainly a very, very large amount of streamers. So I was like, oh wow, we're on your get notified when we're live list.
It's a big get. It's definitely a big get, 100%. So
Cyrus is here.
Cyrus is here. Oh my, you talk about a good foodie. That's our friend Cyrus Kuyasai. Welcome in. And Bill Larkin is in the chat too. My goodness. Hi, Bill. Oh, one of the great parody streamers on Twitch. Love it. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome in. We've had a lot of great. This is the nice thing about this is the coolest thing about you two is that you see. This is just proving my point. Like, you have so much respect throughout the Twitch music community, and you're bringing people in, and I just love that so much. And Let's do sandwich of the week because I don't want to put that off
Yes.
too much longer. I'm getting hungry anyway. So, folks, you ready? Let's do the most anticipated one of the.
Davey, food. Want food.
Precisely. So, folks, it is time for our staple of the program, and that means let's do the. Sandwich of the week, everybody. And let's go back to Justin and Evelyn. Let's see what you got. I'm going to take him.
Okay.
Oh, all right, you hold.
Ready to...
All right, hold on. Justin's gonna bring over our sandwiches. Also, I just wanted to say, Mar said parties can be overwhelming, but I enjoy you two a lot. Both genuine, real, loving, and caring, and a safe place. And though I'm not around a lot, and sometimes for long, I am wanting to be there when I am. It just that's all. That's what we like to say. It's like I don't. Even if you can never join because it's not in your time zone, or you're working, or things are really busy, or whatever it is that's going on. School's hard. You have a baby child, an infant child who is, taking up all your. I don't know. Whatever that thing is going on. If you vibe with our stream, you're a part of our community. It doesn't matter, to us. It's just. So, Mark, thank you. Thank you for saying that. That's what I wanted to say.
That's very nice words. 100%.
And Cyrus says, I'm a gamer. Don't let the music fool you.
I love that. What kind of games have you been playing lately, Cyrus? Just curious. Let's see your sandwich, though. Let's take a look.
Okay. So, Justin, would you like to explain the sandwiches? Oh, sorry. I stole your... Yeah. Justin needs to,
Here again.
hear the stream.
Christine says, we've been hearing about Justin's amazing
we
sandwiches
have
all week.
some grilled cheeses.
Ooh.
We have two types of sandwiches.
Okay.
There is two of us.
Yes. So you've got grilled cheese, which is like it's the multi-cheese. Swiss, cheddar.
Mozzarella.
My eyes are asking you what's on them.
Colby Jack.
Swiss.
Swiss.
And the white, whatever was the white.
And cheese. And another cheese.
And a white cheese. Well, yeah.
Lima, I wouldn't eat it if it weren't gluten-free, of course.
Yes, on gluten-free bread.
Nice.
Aaron knows us a little
Aaron
too
knows
well.
what's up, yeah.
And of course, Havarti.
I've already too. Creamy cheese.
And I, of course, am eating this with tomato soup.
Oh,
not nervous
excellent
about
call.
the sweet right
Excellent
off the
call.
pianos at all.
This is a comfort food to end all. I mean, I just love this comfort food for me. It
But
makes
we
me
also
so happy.
have, I also made another sandwich, which is really just
Oh my God,
ham,
drooling.
roast beef, pickles, Swiss. And I grilled it a little bit. I wanted like a panini, but we don't have a panini press or anything like that, so it's kind of just a slightly warm sandwich.
Okay.
When are we allowed to eat the sandwiches?
No, you can do it now. Let me show you mine briefly.
I want to show.
Yeah,
Okay, no, I
gotta
feel
see
like we
yours.
need to
Wait,
wait until
okay.
you show your sandwich.
Let me
'Cause I
show
don't
you
want to
what
eat, until everyone has been served.
Well, it sounds like cheese is a prominent topic for sandwich of the week this week, and so I've got one too. Let's go take a look over here. This week it is a 4-cheese sandwich with onion, tomato, and some lettuce on this gluten-free English muffin. I didn't even know they had gluten-free English muffins. That's so interesting.
Nice.
What?
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so on brand. Thank
Didn't
you
that look
so
good?
much for joining the
does look
gluten-free.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry in advance if it's gross.
No worries. You know, that's an
Gluten-free English
interesting.
muffins are pretty good, actually.
That's an interesting question. Like, do you ever get worried about eating on stream? Because this is something that Danielle Allard brought up last week or
All
a
the
couple
time.
weeks back. Yeah, I totally understand that. It's like, it is kind of like, yeah. But don't worry about it here. We're good about. Wait, it's all fine on this channel. What do you think of your sandwiches? How do you like them?
Evelyn apparently very much likes
This
yours.
is so good. This sandwich is so good.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody hears me chewing, I'm immediately disconnecting from the stream. Just so you know.
Oh, Aaron pointed out. Yeah, you're right. I have goldfish as my side. Classic
Oh my God.
goldfish.
Nice.
Good stuff.
I miss goldfish.
Oh, is it not in your diet anymore, Justin?
No, they're all
They're
gluten.
very gluten-y.
Oh, right. I gotcha. Aaron says,
God.
we hear Davey chewing all the time. It's fine. Yeah. It's true.
Oh,
This microphone's too good. Picks up all my
so
chewing.
good. Oh my God. Why don't I eat on stream more? This is such a good idea.
Right? I mean,
Yeah. Mashed potato brain.
We had mashed potatoes last night.
Lima says, I don't want to hear you are sick afterwards. I don't think that'd be a problem. Hey, look who's in the chat. Johnsy, welcome in. Nice to see you in the chat as well. We hear Davey's doing an awful thing to sandwich pockets on the regular. Let me put the clip in the chat just to explain what that is. Oh my gosh. So I was on a stream fest called Dinosaur Stream Fest, and I had an Uncrustable, and yeah, it was a really fun time, and I grossed a lot of people out with my sucking out the insides of a sandwich. I'll just put that in the chat, rather than traumatize you here on the stream. Yeah, Justin, your sandwich looks good too. It looks grilled.
Nearly impossible to eat though. Just
really?
everything falls out of the middle of it every time I've tried.
Oh, let's see that. Let's see that up close.
It's
Oh, that does look really good. Holy cow, that looks amazing.
so it's probably just going to be eating the pieces.
Good times. Let me see if I can find that clip. But Uncrustables, the only thing Davey can deep fry properly. True story. True story.
You deep fried an Uncrustable?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
That's genius.
Some time back. Yeah, and you know what? It comes out like a donut. It's really good. It's really good. Let me see if I can find this thing. Getting closer. But
This is so good.
oh
Hey, does anybody in the chat have a sandwich?
yeah,
I want to know what the chat sandwiches are.
John
There were a
says.
few people
Oh, you
in
were
our
saying?
chat before we rated that said they had a sandwich.
Fab Francine. I saw your
Yeah.
all's chat. Fab Francine said she had a sandwich. So that's
That's right.
great. Hope that's going well. It's just everything he deep fried was a disaster. Yeah, by and large, very true. Very true. Let's see. Okay, I think
Maybe committed a crime against the Uncrustables, says Jade.
all right. So here's the yeah, that's a deeper, honestly, that's probably a deeper, more heinous crime than anything related to Klondike bars. But there's the clip. Shane says we had. Oh, you were saying? Sorry.
No, we're just laughing.
Oh yeah. Jade says I don't have a sandwich today, but I made broccoli mac and cheese today. Boom! That sounds great. Yeah.
It does sound good.
Shane says we had pepperoni and cheese Ritz cracker sandwiches for snacks during the stream. Ooh, nice. Oh, that sounds good. Let's see.
I'm very hungry.
Chomsky says we hear Davey doing awful things to sandwich pot. Oh yeah. Let's see. Anybody else? What was your sandwich today? Tammy says I ate one half of the cheese ones. Hey, shout out to Tammy too for the sandwiches. Put it up. That was great. Those look really good. Thank you so much
And
for
Photo Geek Don for helping get ingredients this morning.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Let's see. Aaron says I had pizza empanadas for lunch. Not a sandwich, but delicious. Close. It's close.
Yeah, could argue.
Empanadas?
It's like a Hot Pocket, right? Like a much better Hot Pocket.
I'd say that's crossing into sandwich territory.
Let's get it. Yeah. Jade says Tammy's a sandwich legend. From what I've seen so far, I would agree. That looks really good. Really, really good. Thank you. And Rabbi Ruth, thank you for the follow as well. I also want to thank quite a few other people for follows. Emily Louise 87, that's Bella 12, Photo Geek Don, and Tammy as well. Thank you so much for the follow. Oh, you got a Cubano? Cyrus, that's a great sandwich. Let's see, I gotta make a sandwich. Feeling like grilled cheese with some thin sliced tomatoes. John, get after it. I love it. And thank you for the follow. BC Loves Otters as well. Bill Larkin says tuna sandwich on North Buena in Chicago is quite. Ooh. Tuna sandwich on North Buena in Chicago. That sounds amazing. Dave, you're always such a cool guy. Thank you, CT. Do you have a sandwich as well? Oh, Aaron says, I thought meatball subs were on the dinner menu this week, so I'll be having a sandwich soon. Oh, meatball. That's like one of Aaron's favorite sandwiches. Did you know?
Nah.
Good times. Shane says, I am starving. This is so hard. Oh, no, Shane, I'm sorry. We've done it again. Yeah, Cyrus, I'm with you. Yeah, we'll talk. Let's see. Oh,
Guys,
fettuccine
seriously.
Alfredo sandwich for CT. Right on. It is Cantor's. Yep, that's the one. The famous Cantor's, which is right off of MacArthur Park, which is not a good place at all. But the deli is. It's an awesome spot. The deli's a good spot. Let me see. Aaron says, rule 1 of the sandwich show: do not watch on an empty stomach. Says Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did we get it? Yeah. Love it. So true, says Jade. Yeah. So that's. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. That was really fun. Oh shoot! I guess it's already time for. Rather than I ask questions, why don't I let our friends ask the questions now? Well, okay, I almost dropped my sandwich. That would have been bad. But let's let our friends ask the questions on what we call America's favorite moment in Twitch broadcasting.
Do the dance. It's time for random questions. Great stuff. Ask us anything.
All right, it's that time again. If you let's open up the queue, everybody, and if you have a question for Justin and Evelyn tonight, get yourself some food, and then write in ! Question followed by the question itself. And thank you for wiggling to the question dance once again, Jade Tile. Appreciate you. And let me see if the queue's open. I don't. Let me see. Give me just a second. The queue is not open, so let me open it. Well, that's a little. Let me. Okay. Well, then I'll do it. Did we ask the question before? I guess we didn't. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. I don't think we asked the question. Do you know what the question is, Justin and Evelyn?
Mm-mm.
All right, here it comes. I don't even need to put it in the queue. I'll just ask her straight away. Here's the question we ask all the time on this show. I think I know what one of your answers is, but pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
You want to go first?
French toast. for me.
All right, so let's mark one for French toast. We'll put that in the counter. And I think now Evelyn, I know your answer, but let's hear it.
Crepes.
Yeah, crepes. French toast. French toast is one word, as for the purpose of the command, but super cool. All right, so that we are on the record for it.
That's right.
Love it. Now here's the big question: are crepes a form of pancake?
So, as somebody who I grew up like so my family's Polish.
Uh-huh.
And I always thought when I somehow mistranslated the word naleśniki, which is what I thought was the word for pancakes. It turns out that it, in fact, translates to crepes. So I did not grow up eating pancakes. And when I first made pancakes, because I wanted to make naleśniki, I was very frustrated because they kept getting bigger. And so I would just keep taking my spatula and like smashing them down. I'm like, what is going on with these naleśniki? They are terrible. And they're like blowing up for some reason. And so I served these flattened, like physically, forcefully flattened pancakes that I was trying to make crepes. I eventually figured out that crepes and pancakes are two different things, and naleśniki actually refers to crepes. But so that was my first experience with pancakes. So you can imagine having something like a chocolate macadamia nut pancake that Justin made using Mauna Loa chocolate macadamia nuts, which are gluten-free, by the way. This stream sponsored by Mauna Loa chocolate macadamia. They were so good.
Oh, I love it.
But like crepes are just so versatile, right? I think pancakes and waffles and French toast are ultimately sugar. Like, and just to be clear, pancakes are neither pans nor cakes. So, I'm gonna say.
But you make them in a pan.
I don't know. They're not cakes. I'm just saying. But they're all sugar. Okay, sorry, I'm offending all the pancake people. But they're all sugar. Whereas a crepe, you can eat it with Nutella banana, you can eat it with like lemon and sugar, but you can also have it savory. You can have like a fried egg and a piece of the deli meat and some spinach on it, tomato. I mean, it is so versatile, and I just love them. Also, I lived in France, so I really can't. I gotta give the nod to crepes.
But I guess you could.
But are they cakes?
Crepes are good.
Are they cakes? No. Yeah, crepes are really good though, so I love it.
We're almost as Apple Jacks don't taste like apples.
Or Jack's.
Or Jax.
Love
I'd be
it.
very concerned if they taste like Jacks.
Okay, so Rahoma with a question in the queue. The question is, how do I get these hearts out of my eyeballs?
I've been asking myself that for a long time.
Word up. Aww.
I don't have my second one though. I do have. I become an emoji. I become an emote. Romo, thank you so much for saying things like that. That it is so delightful. To feel the vibes and to feel the love. It just makes me feel like I'm made of champagne.
How do we know you're not? I mean, sometimes we think you do are full. You are full of shame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitely the spirit of it.
I just let it slip. I didn't mean to tell everybody.
It's all right. Let's see. This is from CT, Chris Thompson, CT Music. The question is, Evelyn, do you have any other style of hair that you had in your life that you loved? Style of hair.
Oh, love the question. Okay. My hair has never been since I was a kid, like since I was younger than 6. Since my hair grew past my shoulders, it has never gotten shorter than my shoulders. And I do believe there's a story from when I was a kid, a small child, that said, my mom asked me, I think I was 3 at most, and my mom asked me, do you know, or I don't know how this came up. I don't know if my mom actually asked me this, but for some reason the question was, do I know the difference between boys and girls? And my answer was, yes. Boys have short hair and girls have long hair, except for my grandma. She has short hair, but she is a girl. And so I think somewhere in the recesses of my brain, like, my hair has always been long. I don't know, I think I'm too obsessed with Disney to have, like, to not, like, have long hair. I don't know. I can't answer this question. The answer is no. I've always had this hair.
Oh, and Aaron's trolling me on my hair decisions.
Oh boy.
I've never even dyed my hair. Like, I'm so boring.
Really?
Never dyed it.
Wow.
Never cut it past, like, never been shorter than pretty much a little beyond my shoulders. So yeah, the answer is I've always had this hair, and all 6 years of my life.
Well, you said you had it when you're 6, and then you mentioned you were 5, so I was trying to figure out the math of that too. So I was like, did you turn 6 recently? Well, happy birthday!
My birthday. We haven't decided if it's like The Simpsons, where we're perennially the same age, or whether each year we actually are growing by a year. So canonically, am I perennially 5 years old, or did I have a birthday therefore I'm 6 years old? It's unclear. We haven't figured that out.
Every cartoon has a different metric of like
Yeah.
Family Guy. It's how like all of those never make any sense. Because sometimes they're like a grade older, and then they're in that grade for another 7 years, and
Right.
it's all very confusing.
I'm kind of trying to suss it out myself, Justin. Look who's in the chat. The Funky Spud, who just had a great collab week. Hello, Funky Spud.
up?
Shane, good to see ya. Come on in. Say hello to Justin and Evelyn. Feel free to add a question to the queue. Yeah. Are there any potatoes in your meal at all? Are potatoes gluten-free? That's something I don't actually know. They are.
Potatoes out of the ground
Yeah.
are gluten-free.
Oh.
If you start changing the potato in some way, like making a French fry or a mashed potato, you might start adding things, and then that's when it starts getting risky. The fries could be fried in a fryer where you also fry chicken nuggets that are breaded. And so now the fries are not gluten-free, even if they were just potatoes.
Gotcha. That's really cool. So let's see about the queue. Bill Larkin asks this question. What food did you hate in childhood that you love today?
I saw that one in the chat, and
many.
I'm hitting a wall. All I can think of is foods that I still hate today.
Justin is a much pickier eater than I am.
I don't know.
Okay, I have like 1,000. There's so many. Bill, that's such a great question. So many.
I know I have some too.
I would swear for a long time that I hate vegetables. I hate vegetables. How's that feeling? What? Like, hate. And now I call myself a vegasaurus. I eat almost exclusively. Like, every meal must have vegetables. And but like so many other, oh my gosh, pickled herring. I just think that stuff was gross, and it's delicious. I have
Really?
it for breakfast.
She's
So good.
weird.
Yeah, you're the first person I've ever heard that opinion about the pickled herring.
I'm Polish.
All right.
I love pickled herring.
Respect. All right. Yeah, it's such an interesting topic, but I think liking vegetables as an adult is a very natural progression. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the hug, CT. Appreciate you.
I've probably added various vegetables that I like. I like now,
Yeah.
but shied away from a lot as a kid.
Well, I think, and Justin, you've been trying a lot of food. Like, so for example, we had oysters, and I think you had said you weren't really a fan,
Yeah,
but then you liked them.
Well, I tolerated them. It wasn't bad.
Your exact words
and,
were,
like,
they're pretty
certain
good.
seafood stuff like that.
Okay.
I've grown more to like sushi a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you go.
that's a
Sushi,
good
I
one.
still
Yeah.
don't.
Sushi's a great one.
If it's too raw fishy, I need like the fancy sushi rolls with a bunch of other stuff on them.
Funny you mentioned that, Justin. I've been holding on to these salmon bites all year because I just don't want to eat them. But I've been telling the chat that if we had like a rate of like 100 people or more, I would eventually put this all in my mouth. Would you eat these? Would you eat these
I would
salmon?
100% eat. I would eat those right now. That looks delicious.
Oh, really? Okay.
Maple glazed smoked salmon bites. Oh,
See, I'm not a fan of smoked things generally, like the flavor profile of like smoked. She also will eat smoked salmon.
I also eat this.
For breakfast,
This
you
is
know,
my breakfast.
I don't
I'm
know.
still eating.
Swimfest? What is it?
Yeah, she drinks almost exclusively smoothies and grilled cheese.
Oh, okay. I like
is like
smoothies. What's in
A
it?
lot of spinach and other greens like kale and all sorts of mixed greens and some microgreens.
What is that mud?
It's grass clippings mixed with mud.
I've been hearing. Do you all remember the wheatgrass revolution? That was a thing too, but back in the day. Everybody was on wheatgrass. Like, oh, did you have your wheatgrass shot today? It's like, yeah. Let's see. Oh, everybody loves the salmon bites. BC loves otters. Says yum. Jade says, oh my FG, it looks so good. Shane says those are so good. If you
If you don't eat them, I will steal them out of your house. Yeah, gee, that's right. And then come and bring some with me.
I'm not a fan of salmon like that, but what Shane said, the Epic brand is fantastic. They
Oh,
make
cool,
great,
okay.
like, jerkies and things.
Like cranberries in them.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. Now, Aaron says keep the salmon away, so we do have someone who wasn't a fan, I would say. Let's see, Bill Larkin says, yep, wheatgrass was mandatory in LA during the 2000s. No, I loved it. I was there. I remember it very well. And you had to have it with everything. Okay, back to the queue. This is another question from a homo, and the question is, if you had to pick a new instrument to learn/master, what would it be?
I know my answer.
A new instrument, or can I just be better at piano?
Well,
Or like a different genre of piano.
well, really, it's just a completely discrete instrument. So, for example, if you wanted to take up the flute and like get to know that better, or something like that, or banjo, like, you probably are really good at banjo though, right?
No, I've never played. Have you ever played it? I don't think I've ever played a banjo.
I have attempted to play a banjo. It is not straightforward.
Oh.
It's a really interesting instrument,
Yeah.
actually.
That's interesting.
But
Previously, I would have said tenor saxophone, and I still think tenor saxophone, but I think more recently I would change my answer to drums.
ooh.
Ah.
Oh, for sure.
I've been wanting to get
Justin
an
is-
electric drum kit, but one, they're kind of expensive, and also we
no
have
room.
no room to put it. We need to move again.
We don't have room for the two of us to simultaneously do yoga in the house. Like, that's how little floor
Yeah.
space there is. So definitely no room for a drum set. But yeah, Justin is like so into the keyboard drums. You're so good at it, and it's just like you can see his stank face come up, like.
Yeah, you are good at those keyboard drums. That's true.
Thank you.
I
Wait,
love it.
is it Shane or Aaron that's allergic to sea fish?
I think it's
Sea fish.
Aaron. Aaron also has a seafood
Oh,
allergy.
they all sea fish?
Yeah. That's all right. It's all good.
As opposed to those river fish.
Oh, Shane.
Wait, Shane
Oh,
is too.
Shane.
I am allergic to shellfish, tree fish, and peanuts. Not fun when you
Our
aren't.
food allergy is delightful.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Shane. And Aaron, too.
We understand.
Yeah, we do. Let's see. Aaron says, Justin doesn't know how to play sax because he would be too powerful. Ooh.
But for me, it's harp. I just think the harp has always drawn. It's so beautiful, and it's one of those instruments that you really have to commit to. Like, you can't just. It's not a lyre. Lyre?
What?
The small.
Oh, I was
What?
like, the harp doesn't lie. It's like, what do you?
It's not a lyre. It's a harp. Like, it's like wanting to play the double bass. It's larger than you are. You can't. I couldn't physically move it from place to place. I
Right.
would need a team of people to follow me around just so I could play and like it's just, and it's so beautiful. I just love it. Also, like Carrie Ann and Wendy Harper, I go to their streams. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
why are you just an angel? So harp.
I love the call of the harp. And much respect to both of them. I mean, the great channels, both. Let's give them both shout-outs, too, if you don't mind. I want to welcome BlueGift12 to the chat. Welcome in, and thank you for the follow. And BlueGift says, I live in Alabama. I actually had fried shrimp today. Boom. That sounds great.
Nice.
Hi, Blue Gift. I also see Blue Gift, I think, was saying, like, absolutely no to some of the foods we were listing earlier.
Right
I
on.
was laughing. I was like,
Right on.
that's why there's lots of food, so everybody can have what they like.
Yeah. Aaron says they are both musical goddesses.
Yeah.
Co-sign
Yes.
that.
Oh.
Co-sign that. Absolutely.
So true.
Let's see. Shane said, with a question, do you think you will do a ship again, or are you staying on land? A cruise ship, that is.
I don't think so. I was pretty much kind of done with that
Before we even met.
before. Yeah, like
Oh, really?
well, on like the last couple contracts that I did, like, I was just reaching like kind of burnout on that and the lifestyle and the repetitiveness of the performing and things. And then enter pandemic, and I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely
Bye.
not. Obviously, they shut down, but like cruise ships are reopened now, and I still just, other than being ready to be on land, I also just don't even want to like test the waters of like trying to be on cruise ships when the pandemic is still
test the
a
waters.
factor. I know, yeah. I tried really hard to not make a pun, but there was no way around it.
Well, after you did for 5 years. That's a really long time to not be able to settle in any place, you know. And
Right.
Yeah.
it's a fun life. It's really, really fun. But it feels like you're on another planet. Like I don't know if Bill is still here, and if Bill, have you done cruise ships, or if Cyrus has done cruise ships? But anyone in the chat who has worked on cruise ships, you forget what the rest, like what land is like. It's really
Yeah.
a strange thing. It's like, oh, how do you drive a car? I don't know. There's just, and it's a very strange place where like, what?
I'm just reading.
Oh, it's a very strange thing where like you go to all these places, but you only have a very, very small amount of time there, right? So a good example of that is Civitavecchia, which is in, I'm probably pronouncing this very poorly, but it's in Italy, and it's the port for Rome. And I'm using air quotes because Rome is 3 hours away, and you're only there for a day. So when we docked there, it's like, well, you can be on a bus for 3 hours, spend an hour or two in Rome at most, and then be on a 3-hour bus back. And then, by the way, you have 3 shows tonight. So I think I'll go to Rome on another time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so there's it's not to say it's not an amazing experience, but there's definitely like one of the amazing things going to Hawaii was like we were there last on a ship working, and there's, especially as a singer, you're constantly monitoring how much you're talking. So you have to be your vocal health, because you're singing for hours 6 days a week. So you only have 1 day off, and like, so you're consciously aware of like, if you go to a loud place, I can't talk over the music here because it will strain my voice, and I have no way to recover because I'm singing every single day. So like working on a cruise ship has cruise ship life is it's a really, really interesting world. But I think people look at it as this idyllic thing, like, oh, you live on a cruise ship. And in some ways that's true. It is idyllic in some ways, but it has a lot of drawbacks.
But it has a lot of positives too. And Shane, as far as your son is concerned, like, I tell everybody, because I often, especially in the later years, people would ask, and then I kind of go down the tangent that we just did, and that kind of comes off as like, oh, it was a bad experience, and in no way would I ever take back any of it. It was incredible.
I loved it.
And I tell everybody, it's worth trying once, because the contracts can be long, like anywhere from 2 to 9 months, depending on the job that you're doing and stuff. Yeah, Shane, like, he should be stoked, because if not, like, you can do anything for 3 months within reason. Like, and then your contract's over, and you don't have to, you don't have to go back. So it's definitely worth a try for
Shane. Very, very seriously, happy to have a call with you and or your son as well. Like, if he just wants to pick our brains, we can tell him like cool things that we would recommend packing. For example, well, there's a lot of like.
But still, any advice?
There's a lot of things.
There's lots we could.
Just thoughts on how cruise ships, because another interesting thing about cruise ships is like there's very different levels of what you can do. So we were incredibly lucky to be entertainers because entertainers can get off the ship. Yeah. That's not true of everybody who works on a cruise ship. Some people can only get off the ship very, very occasionally. So we had an amazing opportunity as entertainers on a cruise ship. That is not necessarily the case.
Right.
That is not the case for a lot of the other people who work there. So, we're like, I don't mean to make it sound like that, like Justin was saying, but there are reasons why people wouldn't want to make that their entire lives. I'll say that. But Shane, seriously, call us anytime.
That's really cool that you're offered that to Shane. Just to catch up people who didn't see it in the chat, Shane was mentioning that her son is auditioning for cruise ships for musical contracts. It's a scary thought to do it, but then possibly hate it. But I think your sentiments are great on this, Jav, where it's worth trying. You can, how would you know unless you try? It's terrific. Okay, let's see. Oh, Bill responded, and Bill says, was on a cruise ship way back in 1997. I remember how much they encouraged drinking. Did a few piano sets non-sober. The drinking.
That depends very much on the cruise line. Like, we were on Holland, and there is no drinking in plane, period. Yeah. Like, you're not allowed to drink while you're,
But how can you be dueling if you don't drink, though? I thought, like, everybody did that.
It varies, but
I don't.
It's also, I mean,
I never drink on stage, or I very, very.
Your fingers stop working.
It's hand-eye coordination.
Weird. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's one occasionally might be like at the very end of the night. We're like, all right, but that doesn't. That's not to say people don't. A lot of people do. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that people should or should not. This is not a judgment. I'm saying for me to provide for me to be able to do it the way I want to. Maybe I'm a control freak. I don't know, but I know that I cannot. I would rather know that I'm giving a good performance. I've had it happen where somebody has been offering me drinks and like paying for drinks for me, and by the end of the show, I was like, I don't feel confident that I'm putting on a good show anymore. Mm. And I never want to do that. Like I'm at work, and that to me, if you can drink and continue to be amazing, have fun. Cheers to you.
Yeah,
I'm just not capable. Like I don't have that skill. Maybe I need to be a better pianist. I don't know.
No, I think that's very professional. I respect it highly. I didn't realize that it would make that much of an impact. And Bill adds, I prefer remembering my sets.
Well, it's very different too. Like if you. In some like dueling piano bars and stuff, like people will send shots up to the performers, and when there's 80 people in the room, that can turn into a lot of shots really fast and be a very questionable environment very quickly. Like, I mean, on Norwegian, they have Howl at the Moon, and I remember like less than every 30 minutes, like they were like doing shots with the crowd and toasts and stuff. And I was always just like, how are they not on the floor?
Shane is right.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of that's a good point. A lot of these bars also, they'll talk to the bartenders, and the bartenders will specifically give them non-alcoholic drinks or shots.
Okay.
So like the illusion is there, but Yeah, apple juice looks like a shot. Yeah.
Apple juice
Anyway.
sounds so tasty for a shot. Like, I'm gonna do down some apple juice.
I love apple. Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Just drink
Yeah.
apple juice on the rocks.
It's like, oh man, Justin's really going for it tonight, guys. Let's see. Next question. This is from Chris Thompson, CT Music. Which of my favorite foods do you like the most? Pizza or... Well, this is going to be a tough question with a gluten-free component, but let's try to address it anyhow. Pizza or a fettuccine alfredo?
Good question.
I would have.
I think I'm going to give the nut to pizza, though.
Yeah, I would probably say pizza as well. I haven't had fettuccine alfredo in quite some time, but also very good.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
are great answers.
I think it's too heavy generally for me. Like, I feel like I would eat like a few bites and then kind of be
Yeah, and then want to take a nap.
and yeah, like need to fall over.
Well, and I mean pizza. Despite actually in Hawaii, we ordered a gluten-free pizza, that was so good that we went back to the restaurant. We would go to
Two different times we went back to the restaurant to
because it
confirm,
was takeout.
and we were like, "There's no way. Like they've messed up. This is not gluten free.
We're
There's
like-
no way."
Just so you're clear, I have a very severe allergy. Are you 100%? I made them look at it. I was like, look at this pizza. Is this the gluten-free one? They're like, yeah, I can tell. It looks different than the other one. I was like, then you are a sorcerer, because this is the best gluten-free pizza I've ever had
It really
in my
was
life.
amazing.
It's amazing what they can do with gluten-free pizza. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, and thank you for the question, CT. That was a great question. Great question. And Aaron adds, I used to go to my grandma's house to play cards, just basic Go Fish or Crazy H or something, and we would have iced tea with lemon and pretend it's alcohol just for fun. Ooh, yeah. Simulated Long Island iced teas, which are iced teas. That's a very effective
Nice.
idea. Let's see, J Child. Iced tea with lemon is a very clever alcohol replacement method. Boom. Love it. All right, so Shane has a great question, and it's interesting because I think I asked you the same question, privately, Evelyn. So the question is there a move toward partner for your stream?
Do you want to take this, or do you want me to?
I mean, you can. I guess I can start. And I mean, I think our thought is, I think for one thing, we're still not sure, but we've been talking about that a lot in the last few months.
It's a really interesting question. There are huge advantages of being partnered on Twitch. Huge advantages. And it's certainly something we wouldn't be opposed to going after. There's also just when it feels a little bit like almost like golden handcuffs, because if you're a performing musician, you can choose to stop performing for a while. If you're a cruising musician, you can take a break and be on land for 2 months and then go back on the ships. If you're a dueling pianist, even if you have a full-time gig, you can still, or you can, choose. We're getting booked all for the summer, right? There's lots of weddings coming up, and we can always say like, nope, I'm going to keep that weekend open. And with Twitch, it's just like any social media platform. Any social media platform wants you to create as much content as possible. And the more you stream, the more they support and, promote you and the more you go up. So for us to be able to maybe go on a cruise ship again someday, for us to be able to maybe go on vacation once in a while, for us to be able to take real life gigs, right? It's going to be a really interesting question of whether we can support the amount of time that you would need to be on Twitch constantly to be a partner, which it gets a little more complicated while all the other things. So like we would love it. We also recognize like I want to be able to go to a stream and just have an amazing time of it, whether not a single raid, not whether we have low viewership, which what does that even mean? What is if you're performing in a cafe and there's 30 people, if we're performing on a Thursday night at a dueling piano bar and there's 30 people in the bar, that's big crowd, honestly. Sometimes,
Right.
sometimes they're bigger, but like that's a lot of people. And so there's no such thing as like, oh gosh, but are we hitting our metrics? I just don't want that to take away from the joy of streaming and the joy of being with all of you. Like 20 of you being there is amazing. And I don't want to finish the stream being like, man, we had better numbers last time. Like, that's not the attitude I
There's
want.
been a lot of discussion about connecting, not connecting to the outcome. And I think a push for, like, being partnered or
Exactly.
pushing for that naturally would require us to be connected to the outcome. And that then I think starts taking away from the main reason we started doing it was just enjoyment and music and community.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, at a certain point with those handcuffs and you start, paying so much, like, of course, all the metrics are interesting and it's nice when you have good, big viewership and stuff, but dwelling on that or really attaching the success of your stream to any of those metrics, I think just starts taking away from the entire experience.
Yeah.
That being said, like, of course, the monetary aspect of Twitch is helpful, especially in the midst of a pandemic, where musicians and gigs get canceled off and on for, COVID reasons. But really, when it comes down to it, the reason we do this is for the community and for the fun and sharing of music.
What you said was perfect, because this is exactly the thing. We want to stream without attaching to the outcome of our stream.
Right.
And so if we have a stream like the front page stream, if we have a stream like the 1 year stream, which were so epic, of course, that's amazing. It's delightful. But we've had amazing times where I remember there was one stream not that long ago, maybe 2 months ago, where people were it was just hysterical. We were all laughing the entire time. People were making jokes. Like, it was so much fun. And I think there were 30 people there at most. And that's,
Was it the old-timey jokes stream?
I don't honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. But the point is, we had a great stream, and if we were like, oh, we're pushing for a partner, we would have ended that stream and been like, well, that's going to really hurt our stats.
It's a great perspective, though. It's tremendous. It's a tremendous observation, and Justin's analogy of golden, or maybe your analogy with golden handcuffs, is brilliant. It's a very brilliant idea, because the biggest takeaway I have from what you all said is that it sounds like it would force you to commit to a platform, and that might not be where your life wants to be. And it does take away from, like, your enjoyment of doing what you do. Like, I don't think you need, like, a little check mark to validate how important you are to all of us. I think we kind of share that anyway. We don't need this. You don't need a check mark to validate what you do. So I think it's great, like what everyone said here.
That said, we won't. I mean, if it were to happen, like, so here's an interesting example. We've met the statistics, right? Like, we could apply to be partners, but everything I've heard from other partners is they don't want to see you hit the mark. It's not like affiliate. Like, you have 50 followers, you have at least 3 people average streamer, 3 people average watching per stream, and you have 7 different days of streaming? I think it's 7.
So.
You're automatically an affiliate. Congratulations, which is a huge deal. For partner, you hit the metrics, which is like 25 hours within the last 30 days, 12 different days of streaming, and a 75 average viewers. That is not a guarantee for partners. That's just opens your ability to apply. And everyone I've heard that has gone that route has either if they like got the metrics and immediately applied, Twitch was like, well, let's see how it goes. Like, you may have had a really good month, and then so they want to look at growth. They want to look at over time. Like, are you a place that organically gets viewers, or are you a place that people just raid into and that's why your numbers are high? They want you to organically. They don't want people to just end up at your stream. They want people to want to come to your stream. And you are actually drawing. I mean, they're a business, right? They want to get people to their platform and watching. And so if you're doing that for them, I think that's part of. I mean, and I'm talking. Hello, Twitch Music. I have no idea if what I'm saying is really true. I'm just basing this on what I've heard from other streamers who have applied. Just in that sense of, like, they didn't, and Twitch doesn't say this, but it's like a lot of people have applied for partner and not made it the first time around. Right. So, and then they continue growing and they continue seeing numbers. So, but it's just that, like, it's an interesting. Am I saying something too much?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just listening.
Yes. So it's just an interesting. It's a very interesting thing to think about getting partnered on Twitch, and it's not that something we wouldn't want, but it's not. We don't want it to take away from from what we're doing.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the biggest thing. You don't want it to compromise like your energy of your show, and I think that's a really good point. And Aaron even adds a couple comments to this. I've seen a few partners, I won't name names, but they've said that becoming partners and meeting the stats made them start to hate streaming. And I think that's what you both were getting at too. Like and she says, I would hate to see that happen to you guys. Yeah, I'd hate to see that happen too. It's very dangerous. That could happen. Like if you get too tied up in the stats and the growth and whatever number of followers. We have whoa, what is going on over here? Let's see. Robbie says, I hate that they make. Oh my goodness, we. There we go. Sorry. Hype train is underway, folks, everybody. So what that means for all of us is it's time for trivia. Thank you for your sentiments. CT, I'll get to your question right after we get done with our Hype Train trivia. Pump it up. Thank you very much for the gift sub, I Ain't Angry PFB, Anonymous Gifter, Rahomo with 500 bits, Bill Arkin with 250 bits, and what the fudge? Do I just see just 5 gift subs from Justin and Evelyn? Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's get going. Let's do some trivia. All right, folks. So it's time for some Jeff trivia. Oh, thank you. All right. Let's see if you two can answer these questions for us, and we'll see how everybody does. So here's the way it's going to work. If you want to keep the trivia going, just keep the hype train going, and we'll see how many points you have at the end. Here we go. It's between you and the chat. So if you get a question right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, the chat gets a point. So let's see how we do.
Terrifying. Okay. I didn't know this was going to happen. Wait,
all right.
Regret.
Is this trivia that we're answering these questions?
Yeah, correct. So you two will be answering the questions, and the chat automatically gets a point. It's like instead of like giving you negative points, they'll just give the point to the chat. So let's start.
Fair enough.
All right. So here we go. What did Kalon say? Let me see.
Kalon just gifted 5 subs.
Kalon! Holy cow, Kalons! What in the world? Oh, thank you. Enjoy your lurk, Robbie. All right, so here we go. Question number 1. In what year was Starbucks founded?
Starbucks? The Bucks of the Stars?
Yep.
62.
Evelyn, do you have an answer?
Well, that was definitely wrong because you, based on your reaction. So I'm gonna go with. Do you think it's older or younger than that? I should know this. It's literally in Seattle. It's not that far from our house.
I'll tell you what. I'll give it to you if you can.
What?
What was that? What was your answer?
No. What? Sorry. What? No. What?
Let me just. Okay. What street is it on? Do you know what like? Do you know more or less like where the name of what the street or the area is?
Yeah, so you're going down First Avenue, and the Starbucks is about a block or 2 from Ghostfish Brewery.
Okay.
That's not the first one, though.
That's the corporate office. Oh, the first one's in Pike Place.
Pike Place is the answer I was looking. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I thought you meant the corporate office, which is way cooler that I know of that, right? Of course.
That actually is really cool. But
super interesting trivia moment. You can that mermaid is a little different and a little bit more.
Oh yes,
PG.
a lot more, a lot more explicit, shall we say?
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the first one. True story.
Wow.
So the Starbucks was founded in 1971. If anyone was curious.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
71.
Good to know.
71.
All right,
50
let's
years
do it
old.
again.
So, all right. So, question 2. What is the most well-known item thrown at Pike Place Market?
Fish.
Yeah, you got it. 2 points. Nicely done. Thank you for the gifts, the Blue Gift 12. Holy cow. Look at this. All right. Question number 2. All right. Or question 3. True or false? All right. The first street to be labeled Skid Row was in Seattle.
I don't know if I'm going to say true because I think I hope that's true. I just hope it's true.
I also am getting
but
it's true.
I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to guess true. I have a 50-50 shot and final answer.
You're right. It's true.
Yes!
Good job. Well done, everybody. Question number 4. How are we doing on Hype Train? Oh my goodness, we're on level 4. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank yous to come. Question 4.
Hype train.
Gorgeous. What is the best-selling band of the 70s to come from Seattle? The 70s.
Oh,
From the
to come from
70s.
Seattle? Ooh, that's a really good question. Okay, let's think of Seattle bands.
I don't know.
Heart? Were they around yet?
70s?
No.
Yeah, it is Heart. You got it right.
God, really?
Nicely done.
Nice.
Well done. First guess, too. All right, so question 5.
This is actually kind of fun.
What is the best-selling band of the 90s to come out of Seattle?
Oh, this has got to be Nirvana.
Yeah.
It's a great guess. It really is. But you have to consider all the albums through the decade. The answer is Pearl
Oh.
Jam. It's a great guess, though. I would have guessed.
Oh.
So the chat gets a point.
I mean, to me, Nirvana owned the 90s.
Oh,
so,
absolutely. I mean,
good
absolutely.
point.
It's a great sentiment, and I'm totally with that. Now, folks, if you max out level 5, we're getting to do 4 of these, and a spicy bean. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. All right, next up. Question 6. What seafood item is Maryland best known for?
Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
Crabs.
That's it. Crab cakes. You got it.
That's why I
and-
keep her on my team. I don't know anything.
Have you ever done trivia like at bars and such? Like, have you ever done trivia night?
I don't consider myself good at all
Yeah.
at trivia.
Oh,
Like,
right
I
on.
love puzzles, and I like a lot of games, and, like, I don't know, I just feel like trivia is one of those things where there's masses of information that I'm like, sports ball?
I ain't angry. What is going on? My goodness. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Holy cow.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. And Heron with 100 bits. Holy cow. They want. Oh, I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on here. Anyway, next question. What is the name of the Cheers sitcom spinoff? The spinoff of Cheers that was set in Seattle.
That was set in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a spin-off of
It's a
Cheers?
spin-off of Cheers, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, it's not, it's probably not,
Oh, this is one that like I could know, and it's I can't think of the name.
what's the...
Frasier.
It is Frasier.
I didn't know it was a spin-off of Cheers.
It wasn't.
I was gonna
Yeah,
guess
'cause
Frasier
he was
because it's
in.
the only one.
He used to go to the bar, like Frasier Crane used to be one of the guys at the bar. True story.
CT says friends.
Friends.
Whoa!
Isn't that crazy?
That
We
is
are up
so
to level
cool.
5, folks. Thank you so much. All right, so let's see if we can take it home. All right. What alcoholic beverage is Portland best known for? At least from my point of view.
I feel like microbrew,
Yeah, you got it.
right?
Has to be beer.
Beer is it. Beer
No,
is
it's
it.
obviously port. It's
Oh
Portland.
my gosh. We're canceling all future streams.
I wish I had like a laugh button on here. That's really funny. All right. Let's see. Next up. Okay. Oh, this is good. Okay. Which lake in Oregon is the deepest lake in the U.S.? What's the name of the deepest lake in the U.S.? What do you got, Evelyn?
Crater Lake.
It is. It is.
Lake.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
That's a
Everyone
great.
gotta go see it. It's so pretty.
It's wonderful. I've been. It's
gotta go
awesome.
Yeah, we should go there.
It's a great spot. Okay.
I haven't been since I was a kid.
Oh, really? You should go back.
We must go to there.
Go on
I
back.
want to go to there.
We will go.
And then post pictures. Yeah. All
course.
right. Question number 10. Which 2000s HBO TV drama was set in Baltimore? HBO show set in Baltimore. Crime drama.
Gosh,
Crime drama. I am so bad at TV.
I have no idea.
I've seen 4 TV shows in my life. So The Sopranos, The Tenors, The Baritones,
No, none of them.
Cops.
Right church, wrong pew. The answer is The Wire. The Wire.
yeah, chat was all over that.
Yeah, the chat did.
You got that one, chat, for sure.
Nicely done, chat. Oh, did I put that point in your? No, I did not. Okay, so chat gets a point. All right.
Chat definitely has 2.
We have 224 left. Here we go. Question 11. Let's see if you both can get this.
Guys,
And-
we have like 2 minutes left on the hype train, just making sure people are aware. I have the option of hyping Davey's stream, which I've never had the option to physically do.
This is great. Question 11. What were the first 5 Disney animated films released as part of the Disney Renaissance era? Oh, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits, Justin and Evelyn.
Wait.
The
The
Disney
Disney Renaissance? And
Renaissance.
you
Yeah,
do not
so-
want...
Not the
So,
first.
because, okay, so, go ahead. Blue Gift 12!
goodness! We've hit level 5 max out! Holy crap! Damn! Oh, we're good. It is on now. All right. So, let's see if we can get this though. Like, what were the
Top
first
5.
Okay.
First five.
Okay. The first 5
of the
animated
Renaissance
features.
era? Yeah. So like,
Okay, the Renaissance era, but okay, the Renaissance era could. I'm not sure exactly what that was in reference to. So the first 5 animated features. I'm not gonna get this perfectly. I want to say it was Snow White, Dumbo, Fantasia, maybe Sleeping Beauty.
okay.
But if it's the Renaissance, I think there was like a part after.
If I give you the first
me
one, would you
think-
get the other 4? So like, the first one was The Little Mermaid. Can you
Okay,
get the
that's what I
next?
was gonna say. So it's after Walt Disney passed, and then they had a comeback that
Yeah.
people were like, "This is
So
better now."
that-
Okay.
So The Little
Well,
Mermaid
I'm
was like the
guessing
start of
it's-
that. Yeah.
Well, so I'm not gonna get this in order though, because I'm not good at the dates. But I know it's around Little Mermaid. I can give you the top ones. They're not
Mm-hmm.
the Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin.
Yep. That's
I don't know if Lion King is too
It is,
far
it
down,
is. That's one
too
of
far
them. So
down.
that's-
Lion
so
King.
you're missing
well,
one.
And then the next one would have been Pocahontas. These are released straight to the movies. They don't count. We're
I
not
think a
counting
lot
them
of
in the
people
ones
would have
that-
missed the last one. The last one
Oh, wait,
apparently.
Goofy movie.
No. That's after. But what was like between The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast?
Oh.
This is tough. I'm not even sure if this should
It's
count.
not Robin Hood.
But apparently it does because it's within the same year. Aaron got it.
Fantasia 2? No.
Aaron got it. But see if you can guess first.
Tarzan?
No, that was after as
Tarzan
well.
isn't. That was after.
It's a tough one.
Okay.
It's a tough one.
Hold on. This is. I feel like Disney. I can't lose a Disney point. Something between the little. Okay, the Little Mermaid was like 87, 8 maybe. Is that
Not-
even close?
89.
89. Okay, that's fairly close. And then Beauty and the Beast was 92. I want to say.
More or less. I think it was 92,
Ish?
maybe 91. Not sure. So it's between those years. Something between 89 and 92. And it's just not a
mice?
household name either.
mice?
Jade says this question is gonna haunt Evelyn.
The mice.
There are
Mice?
mice in it, yes.
The mice.
Yes. What were they
I
called?
have no idea.
Oh my goodness!
The mice. They fly. They have a plane.
Oh my gosh! Wow, it's
The
really,
flying mice. It's the flying mice show.
I'm gonna give you
Well,
one
no,
more
I'm
chance.
not saying that's the name, but it is in fact the show with the mice that are.
Oh, like Chippendales Rescue Rangers?
No, not Chippendale.
No, right? Because they're not mice. Okay, I'm just gonna give it to you. Let's see-
Okay.
All right, we'll see if it lines up with what you were thinking. The Rescuers Down Under.
Rescuers.
Chat point.
I'll give it to the chat. It's fine.
But you all dominated that chat. Well done, everybody. I mean, just great job, Justin, Evelyn. Tremendous work. Look at that.
I
8
do not
points.
consider myself good in trivia, so that was.
8 points to 3.
We actually removed. Justin closed the chat box, so we couldn't see the chat.
Oh,
responses
thank you for
coming
doing that. Thank you for doing that. Because yeah, they would have given away some
She's
of the
gonna,
answers.
she's gonna cheat.
in. Dare.
Thank you very much, everybody who
And
participated.
I want to say, okay, so I had said Tarzan, but I feel like Tarzan was. Now that I think about it, isn't it like maybe 97 or ish?
It was like 97.
But it was in the 90s.
It was, yeah. But it was after
Okay, well,
all
so it
those.
wasn't a terrible guess.
So the 5 in question, just for posterity: The Little Mermaid, The Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King.
That's quite a. When did The Lion King come out?
94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean one of the best lines from there's a YouTube channel that's Honest Trailers, and they redo they're like show us the honest trailer for Frozen, and it's like now adjusted for inflation with 2 Disney princesses, 2 snowmen, 2 bad guys. It's really funny, and then they change the words to songs, and they're like, for the first time in forever. It's as good as Lion King. I'm like,
That's
If
pretty
you
fun.
haven't seen Honest Trailers, you should go watch all of them. They're all fantastic.
You're right. Those are fun. Honest trailers are great. I thought it was just like
Arian, I love the Renaissance era. Okay, so we opened chat again. Mulan
Alright.
and Tarzan are the last two in the Renaissance era. That's so okay. I need to go get my Disney history. Is there a Disney history movie I can watch?
It's up. It must be on Disney. Whatever it is, it must be on Disney Plus, right? I would think. But thank you all for your participation. Let me thank a lot of people, including the two of you. Thank you so much for all your generosity. Like 5 gift subs and 500 bits. I feel like Peace Clarinet right now. There's so much hype. Let's see. I Ain't Angry started everything off with a gift sub. Anonymous gifter with another community gift sub. 500 bits from Mahomo. And we mentioned 250 and 5 gift subs from Justin and Evelyn. The 250 from Bill Arkin Music. BC Loves Otters with 100 bits. Kalonzo 2 with 5 gift subs. And Blue Gift 12 with 2 more gift subs. I Ain't Angry with an additional gift sub to BC Loves Otters. And then Jev with 500 bits. I Ain't Angry gifts with another gift sub. And then another. Thank you. And then 5 more from I Ain't Angry. I Ain't Angry. Holy cow. Game Ball to I Ain't Angry. PFB. Holy moly. Blue Gift 12 gave out another gift sub. Aaron Rin 8666 with 100 bits. Thank you so much, Aaron. And same thing to you. Caffeine is my drug with 100 bits. Blue Gift 12 with 400 bits. And then more gift subs from I Ain't Angry. Blue Gift 12. I Ain't Angry PFB with an additional 2 gift subs. What a heck of a... Aaron, I know what you did. So now that means I have to eat 5 of them. I mean, 6 of them, I think, right? So let's do it. And then I got a spicy bean too, right? So here we go. Let's do it. Spicy beans, everybody. Let's go. Have you guys ever done the Bean Boozle challenge, Justin or Evelyn?
I don't know if they're gluten free, and I'm just gonna assume they're not.
I don't know. I would probably have to... That's a good question, actually. That's a good point. Okay, so we completed all 5 levels, plus we have the redeem. So that means we're going to get 6 beans today. 1, 2... No. The spicy bean's the 5th level. I'm sorry. So that's 4 beans plus a 5th. 3, 4, and then 5. So that's for that's for 4 levels of the hype train plus... Oh, no. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the max out is 6. So I actually get 1 more. So that's 6 regular beans and a spicy bean. Okay, so here's a question. Question to chat and to both of you, Justin and Evelyn. Do you want me to eat all these at once or take them one at a time?
One at a time.
One
You
at a time.
gotta prolong this
Okay.
for sure. And then we can cheer or be sad if it's terrible.
Just because you're all such good sports, I'm going to do the KN for the spicy. I'm going to go all the way to the max. So let's do these one at a time. Number 1, we're going to go with... This is red, so it's either Old Bandage or Pomegranate.
Oh my god. Band-Aids? Do go on.
Yeah, we'll see. Ugh.
Good luck.
Old Bandage. Ugh. Not fun. Not fun. Did somebody else do the cheer? Yeah, thank you, Justin. That's clever.
Oh, that was her. She found it.
Oh, that was... Props, Evelyn. Well, at least I don't have the bug in here. The stink bug was freaking terrible.
Oh.
All right, so this one is either the juicy pear or the booger. Let me clean my mouth. Let me.
Cleanse your palate.
We gotta. Okay. Ugh. Oh God. Again. What the frick? So I got booger. Oh, this is disgusting. Ugh. Cleanse that palate. That's gonna be hard to do. I got some rough ones here. Hey, welcome into the chat, Jason. Welcome in. Let's shout out Island Vibing Presents if you don't mind, mods. They've been on fire too. Their booking guess is incredible. But this one is going to be dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
Oh.
I know. Finally. Pump it up. Got a good one. So that's strawberry banana smoothie. Thanks. All right.
Rigged.
Woo! Oh, the rig command's in place? Yeah. Rigged. All right. Now this one is... Oh, no. No. Oh, no. No, no. No, I thought I was going to be spared this one. No. Oh, no. So this is either going to be Stink bug or toasted marshmallow? No, not the stink bug. God damn it! I hate this one.
Sorry, David.
Okay, I need.
So what's my success rate? Like 1 out of 4 so far. Ugh, I hate that stink bug so much.
It sounds so.
I bet the
gross.
ratio in that package is not. It's probably mostly the gross flavors.
I want to say it's 50-50. Who really knows? You're probably right, Justin. Oh, my God. All right. So this one... Oh, I need to clean the palate. Is either Stinky Socks or Tutti Frutti. Yeah, hold it up here. I need more than water. God damn, that's so
It's sort of
bad.
like an evil laughter. I can't find one.
Not again!
Oh,
God, man. This is terrible.
Davey.
so sorry, David.
No, it's all right. It's worth it for a level 5 hype train. It's all good. Some people are actually rooting for the good beans. I appreciate that. But most people in the chat love me getting the bad bean. That's all good. It's good. It's all the name of content, my friends. So this one is liver and onions or cappuccino.
Liver and onions.
Oh boy. John says, Davey, why do you do this to yourself? I don't know. Oh God. Go ahead and play the losing horns and stuff.
Oh no, what was it?
That was the liver and onions. Ugh.
Oh, that's a no-go. Hold on.
Wah, 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 wah.
Hold on, I got you. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Trombone.
All right. And Christine says, at least it's food. This one, if I can see it, this is the spicy bean, the cayenne spicy bean. Which after all that stuff, I'll take it. Let's see. All right. So if you have a question for the Chomsky, why do you do this to yourself? That's really funny. We'll go back to the queue. If you have a question for Justin and Evelyn, exclamation point question followed by the question itself. And we'll keep going with the questions. So now it's time for the spicy bean. Cayenne pepper, spicy bean.
Oof.
Oh, that's not even the one I wanted. I wanted to get Carolina Reaper. Oops. All right. I guess it was gonna be okay then. This ain't gonna be that bad. No, this isn't too bad. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Yeah, I remember that one.
So hot in here.
Yeah!
I was like,
That's boss right there. Thank you
That
for
didn't
the
seem too bad, Davey.
That's not bad at all. This
As
is
far as
pretty
the,
good. I meant to do the Carolina Reaper. I made a mistake. It's supposed to be a hotter one than this, but I'll take it. That was really good.
it's bodacious. Trying to show patience.
You guys get loose. Yeah, I love it. Chase is amazing. So thank you very much for all. First of all, thank you so much for your hype, and thank you for the 143 bits.
Go chat,
Go
Yay,
chat.
Sandwich Club.
Woo!
Sandwichers. Wait, Samfan.
Samfan, our sandwichers, very, very supportive on this hype train. Thank you all for your generosity. That is incredible. I maxed out 5. I can't really explain my gratitude here. That is just, I just think it's insane that this channel gets that kind of hype. You guys getting it, I get. We getting it is crazy. Like, I just think that's wild. But, all right, so you ready to do this? More questions? Oh, thank you. John just says, I like Sandwich Club. Gonna have one shirt made. Really? I'm glad you like that, the Sandwich Club. I'm gonna think about it. So I like Sandwich Club too. And so CT says, you better be careful with yucky beans. I'm just too worried that you'll die. I won't die. These are non-toxic. You'll be fine. But thank you, though. Aw, thank you, Aaron. David, you don't realize
They're
how
actually
awesome.
just regular jelly beans that have expired several years ago.
That's valid, man, my friend. That's valid.
Like, this was grape at one point, but
Yeah, that's Aaron's right, by the way. Aaron and Island Adjacent, who's chiming in with a
Thank you.
this. And,
Thank you very
yeah,
much. Thank
this.
you. Thank you. Wow, that's a high compliment, Jobsy. Thank you. Davey, you're like the Cheryl Waters of Twitch. Fantastic interview. Thank you. Well, thank you, Jobsy. I appreciate it so much. All right, so this question from CT. Let's continue the queue. And the question is, has ocean water got in your mouth during one of your previous beach vacations?
oh, every single time.
All the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not mouth, nose, ears.
If you're snorkeling, absolutely. If you're swimming, almost certainly.
nom nom nom.
I mean, that's why you. I mean, yeah, drink lots of water to make up. Obviously, don't swallow the seawater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a good call. Yeah.
Bringing gum with you or chewing gum like while you're swimming is a nice trick.
Oof.
It just kind of takes the salt water, taste out of
Doesn't
your.
it taste like salty mint gum?
Yeah, but it it helps.
Hey, look at the chat, Brenington. How you doing?
Hey.
Just sneaking in. Don't let me in. No problem. No worries. Nice to see you, Brenington Frothing Slosh. Glad to see you in the chat again. Say hello to Justin and Evelyn.
CT, for what it's worth, we do not intentionally drink the seawater,
Yes.
but does it accidentally get in our mouths and noses and ears and eyes? Yeah, just a
Hard
little
to
bit.
avoid.
Hard to avoid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the ocean is very big, so, all of the crazy stuff that's in the ocean, like, I don't know, whale poo-poo, it's probably quite diluted.
Oh, man.
You just can't think about whale poo-poo while you're snorkeling. That will make you feel sad.
Yeah, fair point. So let's see. Justin and Evelyn with a question. Can we start a hype train here? Done. And thank you very much, everybody. Thank
Good job, chat.
Well done, chat. Well done, chat. Props to the chat. Shane with a great question. What is the most requested wedding reception song?
Ooh.
Reception, not ceremony.
Reception. Hard to say. Because it varies every few months or every year, like, as new things come out. But, like, the standards, like, I mean, I don't know, I'm just thinking of, like, the go-to list.
I mean, almost everyone eventually requests Bruno Mars. I think I'm gonna marry you.
Yeah.
Um,
Thinking Out Loud.
Thinking Out Loud is a big one. Perfect is a big one. By Ed Sheeran. Also, just like the classic dance songs. Right? I mean, part of the thing is doing like dueling pianos. Right? Every show is so different. So it's very similar to a dueling piano show, but there's also some slow dances because people want to get all romancy and gross. It's like a wedding. Ugh. But so yeah, so they so you can but you can use that to the advantage, right? Because if the part you can use that to manage the energy. So if people are really going hard and dancing really hard, and you can tell that they just need like a little break, you can just all right, everybody grab that special someone or get yourselves in a little circle, sway back and forth, and now let's play a love song. But otherwise, it's all dance stuff. You never know.
I guess that makes sense, though. I mean, you've had the touchy-feely moments during the ceremony, and then the reception it's like party time. So yeah, I'm with it. What is the song that you see the most during the father-daughter dance? Is there a specific one that seems to stand out?
Do you know what's funny? Clients ask this all the time. Clients, like the bride and groom, will ask us for suggestions for like the mother-daughter, and most frequently they want suggestions for the father-daughter dance and the mother-son dance.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of I'm trying to think of one. My Wish, actually, by Rascal Flatts.
Yes, thank you.
Gets requested
That's the one
a lot.
I was trying to think of.
My wish for you is that this life is, what? Is that all that you wanted to? Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small, you never have to
Carry more than
you can hold.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it myself. I can't exactly remember it.
So it's good sentiments. And it's not romantic, right? So you have to find something that is romantic, not romantic, but still, so I've seen, so My Wish comes up several, we did My Wish for several mother-son or father-daughter dances. What are you looking for?
I think I got it. I think I remember now. Yeah, My Wish, super cool. Super
Yeah.
cool.
But honestly, it's one thing that we also will Google because, you know, I'm not Delilah. I don't just pick a like. Let me find the perfect song for you.
Delilah.
Like my plan is for you to pick the song you want to sing and then or hear, and then I will play it for you. Versus, could you play me a song that matches these specifications of my life? I'm like, hold on a second, wait, this is backwards.
Yeah.
No, you request it. That's your job, and then I'll play it.
Yeah. Some people ask a little too much of you all, huh?
Oh, I Hope You Dance is great.
Yeah.
I Hope You Dance, Shane, that's a great one. Butterfly Kisses was a popular one. Yep, we did that one this last summer.
Cool.
That song is like the best worst. It was stuck in our heads
Forever. It's so catchy.
for weeks, months.
I would just go up to Justin and be like, hey, Justin. He's like, no, why? Why did you do it? I wouldn't even start singing the song. He would just know from my expression that I was like, haha, I'm just being a little saucy.
Hey, Pythagorean, welcome into the chat as well. Nice to meet you here on the Sandwich Show. We do. You remember her? You remember Yeah, Pythagorean. What's good? Pythagorean. It's nice to see you here. Nice to meet you here on this channel. So here's a question from BlueGift12, and thank you so much for asking your first ever random question. Feel free to ask more if you'd like after this is done. BlueGift has this question: how many places in the world have you been on the ship?
In my time, I'm trying to think of like places like individual cities versus I've
Countries.
over 50 countries.
Wow. No kidding.
And like probably 250 or so cities, if I had to guess. I have a list. So what I started doing, and I wish I'd started doing it earlier, is drop.
Aaron.
What?
Old man Justin.
In my
activated.
time, back when they had the steamboats going, they. She loves the old. I wish I had more phrases in old timey voice. So I started dropping pins on, like, you can create lists in Google Maps. So I just started dropping pins on every city that I stopped at, and added it to like a places I've been. So my Google Maps is just like covered in dropped pins, as well as like favorited restaurants and places like that. I don't know. What's your?
I've never made a. This was genius. What he did was to actually pin all the places so you could go back and check them all. I didn't do that, and now that is sadness. But I mean,
you've
I
lived
went
in other
all over.
countries too, so you've probably been to at least 20 countries.
Oh, many more. Yeah.
Right?
More than that. Yeah, for sure. Well, because I've been in over. So my cruise ships, it was over Europe, the Caribbean, Mexico, Hawaii, and Alaska, and so all over those areas. But Justin has also done like a South America itinerary and a Asian, like a bunch of Asian countries itinerary, and like Australia, New Zealand. So like he was on ships for 5 years, so that's way more time. But I mean, traveling is amazing. Like, and I've had the fortune of living in other countries, so what's exciting about that is being able to be not like a tourist in the country and saying, oh, let me go see the cool things here, which there's nothing wrong with that if you're going to go to a city for a day, of course, or even a week or whatever. But you really get to have that like culture shock of, oh, this is different than how things function in the United States, and just appreciate it's really the small things that start get like, I can't buy seedless grapes. I guess I've never thought that seedless grapes were like a unique thing. I just thought they were available, but no, you can. It's really, people were like, seedless. Oh, this is a good one. When I was living in France, and this is a while ago, but people were like, I was like, I can't find salad dressing, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, salad dressing. Where do you find salad dressing? And they were like, you buy balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and mix in a little salt, pepper, and mustard, maybe? Like, what are you talking about buying salad dressing? And they thought it was so funny, and I'm sure that may have changed. First of all, that may be different now, but I just remember this moment like, what do you mean I can't buy salad dressing? Like, I have to make it? And I learned to make it, and it was delicious. But it's like the smallest little things that you don't learn that when you go to France to be like, I'm just gonna see Paris, which is beautiful. You learn that by like having to try to live your life in that country, and it's very weird and different and delightful and amazing and sometimes hard, but good hard. Like, you learn things.
I love it. All right, so let's see what we have left in the queue. Last call for questions. If you want to ask a question for Justin and Evelyn, exclamation point question followed by the question itself. This will be our last call, then we'll close it up tonight. All right. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jeez Louise. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Jeez Louise.
Love it. All right, so so many of our friends from Justin and Evelyn's world are in here tonight. I really thank you for joining us. I mean that. Like, it's really nice of you to all hang out with us tonight. Okay, so this is from Chris, from CT Music. Have you ever seen a full circle rainbow in real life before?
Full circle?
I have.
Like not a half a circle?
Yep. I've seen a full circle.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
From a plane. The way that the sun and the droplets and so forth. We have a special guest visitor, by the way.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Aww.
Hi, Toby.
Say hi to Toby.
Hey, Toby.
Says, I can't have sandwich.
Aww, Toby.
He's so cute. But yeah, so I was on a plane and I looked through the plane window and there was a full circle rainbow on the cloud from the sun through more precipitation. It was amazing. It was a full circle rainbow.
That's really cool. And Aaron says, I'm surprised it took him this long with sandwiches around. That's funny.
He was nearby waiting for his moment.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's see. I have a question in the queue as well. This goes to both of you. Have you been involved in stage productions? I'll let you each answer that. When you were young or even now and as an adult.
I mean, in middle school, I was in Meet Me in St. Louis and The Sound of Music. Not willingly.
Not willingly? What does that mean?
No, I did not want to be in the musicals at all. And
I see.
Basically, between my parents and like the choir teachers, the choir teacher kind of like forced me into it. Because it's like, I probably arguably any middle school, high school, none of the guys audition. And they're always like in need of guys for various roles.
Oh, really?
You're setting me up for my answer.
I don't think so. I guess that's it. Yeah.
So yes, for me, quite a number. So, I was in plays since I was a kid because I went to like a Montessori artsy school when I was younger, and so we would always put on some plays. So I was in like, and musicals. So I was in the Mikado. I was in, oh my gosh, a bunch of like. Actually, I don't know if Dark Native is still here, but we did a bunch of indigenous stories as plays. So there was one around the Pleiades and like the Seven Sisters, the constellation. And I remember I had a part in like there were 7 of us small girls. I must have been 8. I don't know. But it was a lovely like educational play. But then once I got into middle school and high school, I was in The Wiz. So we originally cast Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. For those of you who don't know, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is a song based on the Bible and the story of Joseph and his 12 brothers. And we did not get 12 middle school boys to play 12 brothers of Joseph. And eventually they had to can the play. They like stopped it and changed it to a different something else so we could still put something on because like there just wasn't enough interest from the males.
That is incredible.
They tried really hard.
Yeah.
But I was the narrator in that so before they canned it, we had like a few, we were starting having rehearsals. And I got to learn the songs from the narrative from that musical and learn the music in general. And I still remember there's a song where you have to list all of the colors of the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh man.
And there's like 40 of them. So that was fun. And then I was in Little Shop of Horrors. I was in Anne of Green Gables. I was in Babes in Toyland. I was in, I mean, quite a number. I was really into musicals when I was a younger Evelyn.
Wow, quite a lot of experience though in your young life. Yeah, I take it. Now let's go to the comments. Justin's mom says, "No, you loved it."
Yeah, I did. So there is like something to be said for the community and all that of like being part of a cast. So I think in the end, I certainly was happy to have done it, but yeah.
All right.
It's really fun.
I had to twist my arm to do it.
Oh, here's a funny story from that. So I was
Okay.
I played Dorothy in the Wiz, and the Toto that they gave me was my very first interaction. Like the very first time I found what a pug was as a dog, and I'd never seen a dog like that before, and I was just so confused because I was like, there's like that movie that's like, it's a pig, it's a dog, it's a loaf of bread, it's we don't know, and it was just such a funny like thing because I was a small, lanky, not sporty girl, and Toto is what, a terrier or something? It's a small dog. You can fit him in a basket. You can like waltz around and dance with a Toto. This was a pug, a big, like the density of that dog is so big. And so it was like, come on, Toto, and I'd have to like hefty hoist this dog up and like crawl off with it, trying. So it did not look dainty at all. I'm like, come on, Toto.
Oh
Somebody please bring me a wagon so I can get this dog off stage because I can't lift him.
Oh
It
my
looked really
goodness.
funny.
I wish I had a photo of that. That's great. Oh,
Yes,
good
it
times.
was the Wiz.
I dig it. Let's see. Aaron says, I was on stage for ballet for recitals twice and vowed never again. Ooh, I hear ya. And let's see. But Aaron says, I did help paint sets for some of the high school plays, though, which includes high school production of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Pretty cool.
What?
Neat.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. All right, so... okay, so Jomsy, good call. Like Jomsy just wrote in, Little Shop of Horrors is so very, very fun. Yeah, that's a good call. Christine says we had girls playing the brothers when my junior high school did Joseph. So this is a nationwide thing then, isn't it? Everybody's struggling to get like people of the male gender to participate in these things. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let me see. Anything else?
To be fair, by the way, for the pug lovers in the audience, I fell in love with that dog. I love pugs now. I just think they're just hilarious little pig dog loaf of breads.
Yeah. So we've closed the QCT. Sorry about that, but maybe you did ask a bunch of good questions. Oh, go ahead.
CT, to sort of answer your question, I've never been skiing. I don't know how to ski. I've been
What's their
snowboarding.
question?
She skis, but I cannot imagine that she rubbed candle wax on her skis to go extra fast because is scared of she does not have the need for speed.
Look at me as a person. I have so much adrenaline coursing through my body by nature. I do not need to go thrill seek and throw myself off of things or go really fast because that would give me even more adrenaline and then I would explode.
And Aaron, I think there's been a shift. I would wonder if that same phenomenon of there
What's
being
your question?
a difficulty in finding guys to fill roles. I wonder if there's been a shift in that in the last 5 or so years.
Potentially.
With how prevalent High School Musical and all of the
Glee.
all of these various shows that are all about that whole thing, and it's becoming kind of more, I guess, mainstream and just the general dynamic of the world shifting in a way that hopefully the concepts of what constitutes to being too girly or not manly is hopefully changing, and people can kind of get over that. But
I think it's really well said, and it's really nice of you to answer CT's other question. I just wanted to make sure we had enough.
You saw it in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's really nice of you because we do have to close the queue because I know that you guys must be getting hungry again. So let's go ahead and go to the next question from Fake Chaos, and the question is, do you guys have a gig schedule for the off chance we're in town? Ooh.
When, Faye? Yeah. Just let us know.
Excellent question, Faye.
When is that? I don't see where.
I don't think they know yet.
I don't think yet.
They're just saying like whenever we are in towns, like just.
So we have like, we have option. We have a lot of private gigs.
Right. So if we do events, if we do gigs where
You
they
can
are
come.
public, we will
We'll
create
tell
a
you.
schedule. But we literally don't have enough of those, or any at the moment, really.
We do.
Yeah, but none of those are on a schedule yet.
Oh, okay. We're still figuring out the
Yeah.
dates.
So if there's
So there-
once there are dates, we will post them on.
We have a lot.
On
We have
Discord.
several places that we will have that you can see us in real life, but we are not fully sure when those dates are going to be. But we will be posting them on Instagram and on Discord. So, like, by all means, we would love to meet up. See you all in real life. That was.
Yeah.
We got to meet Pinball and Subby in real life, and it was amazing.
That was cool. Yeah, I'm really glad
And
you were
we
able.
already knew Sarah Mahoney, and she was there too, and it was amazing.
Oh no, kidding! Sarah was there too. Wonderful. Yeah, she's a pretty cool piano player herself. Yeah, so
Jeff Con.
yeah, Jeff
Yes,
Con will be public.
Jeff Con. You're all just
yeah,
gonna have to come to Seattle.
let's go. Oh man. So Kalon says, "Let's crash some weddings." Nice. Let me ask you a question about what. Well, no, we won't have time for that tonight. I'm sorry, but I would have asked like what kind of weddings. What have been some of the more like opulent weddings that you've been to? Like, but maybe we'll save that for the next appearance.
I'm happy to talk wedding stories at the next time. We have plenty of fun.
Lots of wedding stories.
Oh, I love it. I'll have to remember that for the next appearance, whenever it may be. But Shane did say all the production she's been involved with, and she says she's never been on stage. But then Kalon says, "Not yet," or is that Romo said that? That's great. Hey Shane, a question for you. If you could be in a production, who would you want to play? Like, what production would it be, and who would you want to play if you wanted to do one? Thank you. I'm very curious. I'd love to see. And Shane says, we need to schedule with you soon. We want to spend time with you. Yeah, JevCon, folks. If I can meet that dono goal, we might just have JevCon this year. I'm telling you, like, we can just make it happen.
We're planning on it, Davey. We're
love it.
ready for you.
Oh, thank you. And first of all, thank you all for your contributions so far to that dono goal. That's really great. Anyway, but let's get to the rest of the questions. Last one from Jade. And the question is, we know your favorite place visited, but what is the most cursed place you've ever visited?
The most cursed place.
Okay, I'm gonna start with some thoughts. When you are on a cruise ship, it can be quite challenging to truly explore a place because you're in a new city every day. So it's very hard to even spend the time to research how to, once you get to where are you docking? Because you can sometimes dock in multiple places around a city. What's the can you do anything by foot? Does it have to involve a car rental? Does it have to involve, like, is there a bike rental? Are cabs safe? Are cabs available? Like, is there Uber? Like, there's 1,000, or Lyft. Like, there's 1,000 questions, and you just don't have time to answer that for every port you go to, on like a big itinerary, unless you're doing the same ports over and over again. Like, I did an Alaska tour where I did the same 4 ports for a month. Yeah, well, then you can kind of get to know them. But in a lot of times when you're doing many places like that, you just don't have time. And so what can sometimes happen is, due to that lack of knowledge, unless you go on a shore excursion with the cruise ship, which is expensive, so you usually can't, you're just kind of left to your own devices. And that's when some of the places that I've been to, I'm like, so like I went to Jamaica. I'm sure there's amazing. I've been to Jamaica twice, once on a cruise ship and once for somebody's wedding. And when I was there for the person's wedding, it was amazing. We got to see a bunch of stuff. But when I went there just on the cruise ship, it was like, I felt not so great, like, walking around. And but it was, again, I didn't know where to go. I didn't have the time to research. And so, like, I have not great experiences at that port, but that's I would say that's user error. Because there's no way, like, Jamaica is a beautiful country with an amazing stuff to see, but that's just, I didn't have the chance to see it. So it's like, that's my thought on it.
I guess I don't know what like the most cursed place, like.
Well, I'm thinking about
Where have you had a bad
places
experience, I
you tried to
guess,
go.
Right.
Like, you had some places you told me about on the Asia contract where.
I mean, that's but to your point that Ev just made, like, you don't see all of a place, and you arguably just see it once. I'm pretty sure it was Cambodia struck me as like one of the more, I don't know, the port itself and the little town and city and everything that we were in was just really not the best. Both for kind of crime, the amount that like they kind of jump on you to try to get you to buy stuff like the second you're off the dock.
Which makes sense.
And but I mean, in general, like just very impoverished. And part of that is that like it gets railed by hurricanes like constantly. So it's like you can't really. It's hard to. I don't want to speak ill of these places either because to some extent it's just, it just kind of the hand that they've been dealt.
Yeah. I think every place has its magic. Every place has
because I also
something
found like an amazing beach there that we ended up going to like every time we were there after that. But I'm also thinking of Nassau, which is like the cruise ship port for a lot of East Coast cruises. Not a really delightful place. It's like the murder capital of the world, from what I understand.
But again,
you can't,
And cruising is really interesting, like in general, right? Because we're so fortunate to live where we live, to live in Seattle, and like one of the reasons that I think travel is so helpful and important, and it's if you can do it, it's a great thing to do, is to get off the beaten path and kind of realize how differently people live. And that doesn't mean, that's not a judgment of whether it's better or worse, or it's not better or worse. It is simply different. And so like you come back, and it's the same reason I love going camping, because you come back from camping and you're like, oh, when I open this faucet, warm water comes out immediately. That's amazing. Like I can take a shower and it's just right there with this perfect water pressure. Like, and the water just disappears. Like we were talking about this. Here's a great example. We were in Hawaii, talking to this lady who was also in the same condominium, like timeshare area. She lived in Hawaii and was just there for fun. She lived up the mountain in Hawaii, and she says, "Well, I live a little bit off the grid, so we don't have mail, and I live on a generator, and I don't like." She doesn't get mail. She doesn't have a she only has a post office.
Literally off the grid to where like she doesn't have electricity. So she has like solar or something like that, but then I think that broke. So basically, like when the sun, she doesn't have lights. Like when the sun goes down, she
can't flush
doesn't
her
have
toilet.
electricity.
She can't flush her toilet when the sun goes down.
Whoa.
Which still sort of by choice, and Hawaii is still a beautiful place. But traveling gives you so much. Beyond all the amazing things that I got to do and got to see, I always think if anybody who has the ability to travel,
Makes you
I
really
really
grateful.
think everybody should travel certainly out of their hometown if they can, and like out of the country, because it gives you so much perspective, kind of what you were saying.
How
people live. Like we especially in this country get such a idea of how life works, and it's just so not the norm for like most of the rest of the world.
I've never been grateful. I've never thought to be grateful for the fact that I get mail delivered to my house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I've never thought to be like, wow, how convenient that there's a person that comes and brings me mail. How kind. How amazing. I don't have to pay for that. I mean, theoretically, taxes or whatever, but like, I don't decide. That just happens. I just moved to an apartment and they're like, sure, you live here now? We'll route things to you. Sounds great.
Irene's in the chat.
Hey, Irene Pena. Pop it up. How's it going, Irene?
Good to see you.
Let's give Irene a shout out. Good to see you again. But that's really great. I mean, we're wrapping up here, Irene. Justin and Evelyn have been great. If you missed any part of it, you can catch the VOD for the replay. But no, I think that's it. I think we're done with questions. And I guess that'll be that. But Irene, I hope you're well. We're gonna have Irene on tomorrow for the Together Wherever Streamfest announcement. We're gonna have the big reveal. I don't suppose you both are in this one, are you? Would you?
I don't think.
Not this one.
So
okay.
I think we have another thing that day.
Okay, right on. But anytime you are in a Streamfest, we love it. We appreciate all the hype y'all get. But anyway, this has been a really, and Jade, I really thank you for the question. And Jade says, that was a great, thoughtful response, though. Thank you so much for answering.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you, everybody. I mean, Davey, what you do on this show is just such a lovely service to the Twitch community. Like, truly, when you said, I don't know, I understand if you guys get hype, but us getting hype, like, permission to strongly disagree with that, because, like, you're giving people the coolest part, in many ways, the coolest part of Twitch, because what I think is so cool about raids is, like, you're in, let's say Emily McVicker's stream, and you're seeing her and it's cool, and then you raid, and suddenly Emily McVicker is in the chat chatting with you, and she's just one of the people in chat with you. Like, it's this feeling of, like, going with your favorite people to the next bar, right? And
yeah, absolutely.
And with what you're doing, you have this opportunity to, like, especially as music streamers, there's always a little bit of, like, we should stop talking and play music.
Oh yeah.
So now,
yeah.
so then you get to know people and just really form a community around more than just the stream, but around, like, the people and all this other stuff. It's what you do is just so valuable, and it's creating so much of such a glue in this community. And I feel like what you have done is made all of these people closer together. And so thank you, Davey. I really appreciate being here.
Here.
I love the sandwich community is incredible. The Twitch community is incredible, but what you do is incredible.
Well, what you do is incredible.
And thanks, everyone.
Thank you, and thank you for doing this with us tonight. It was really nice, and that's really all. That's what we hope to do. We want to let everybody get a chance to know our favorite Twitch streamers a little better, and we've done that tonight with the two of you. And I thank you so much for your time. Let's see. And I look out the comments coming in. And thank you, Irene, for your sentiments. And Aaron says 1,000% would agree with everything. Well said, Ev. 100%. and TT. With a lot of good questions tonight, adds, I love you both so much. You're such lovely, kind people. Glad you both became my friends. I love having you here on the Sandwich Show. TT, back at you. That's awesome.
So who are we going to raid?
Let's find out. First, let's thank everybody. We have a lot of credits tonight. A lot of credits. Let's go roll the credits. Wait. Oh, there you go. I see. I'm learning how to do credits. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, I finally got some credits going. Sure, Justin and Evelyn, thank you very much for all the fine people. Rahomo, Blue Gift 12, Bill Larkin, Island Adjacent, Aaron 866, Aaron Rin 8666, Species Loves Otters, and Caffeine is My Drug. Let's give some mod love in the chat too, folks. Mod love, ! Mod love. Love the mods. CT, you're great tonight. Aaron, thank you so much for your help too. And Jomsy with a little bit of help too. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Justin tried to run the credits for 2 minutes into it. Is that true, Justin?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I just hit the wrong button.
Oh, I got you. It's easy to
and ours
do.
has like a thanks for watching too, so it was like, oh well, show's over, I guess.
Look at all these resubs. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Look at this. Thank you. Wow, what an incredible. Well done, everybody. Let's answer the question. Who do we rate today? That's a great question. Where would you like to go, Justin or Evelyn?
Oh my gosh, great question. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Let's take a look-see, Lou.
Take a look. Let's take a look.
Ooh, some good people. Oh, Davey is eating his sandwiches on.
Ooh, I love that guy. I do.
Oh, I like this idea. I like this idea. I like that idea. Well, so I have a few ideas. What if we raided Tin Town?
Oh, is Tin Town on right now? Let's go.
I think, yeah.
Let's go.
I haven't checked, so I haven't
I'll double check. No, he is on. Let's do this raid. Oh, did we? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, he's indeed. Let's go. Okay, copy the raid call, everybody. We'll go ahead and raid Tin Tam Gaming. Starting it up right now, folks. Give it a call. Copy the raid call, everybody. And let's spread the love to our friend Tin Tam. He's good peeps. He totally deserves it. So, all right.
One of the first guests on the Sandwich Show, I think.
The very first guest in the Sandwich Show history. And I thank him so much for that. That brought instant credibility to the show when he was willing to raid. I was always thank him for that. Okay, let's go ahead and raid Tin Tam Gaming. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great evening. We'll be back with Irene tomorrow night, same time. Oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Oh, the Rev's in here. The Rev's in here. Just started from the rain. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone. Yay.
Thank you, Davey.
Love you so much. Take care of yourselves.
Bye,